Morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the DuPont Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to bring you the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Chiba Lotte Marines. We could tell you that it's the biggest game of the season, probably after 134 games by the Hawks and 131 by the Marines. This would probably hold true, as both teams are tied for second in the Pacific League. They are one game ahead of the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, who sit in fourth place, as this game here will decide who moves into second place in the standings here tonight, and ultimately a little bit closer to a playoff spot. The loser, of course, depending on the outcome of the Golden Eagles and Fighters game, could potentially move into a third place, a tie, or could have third place all by themselves if the Eagles end up losing to the Fighters. Well, tonight we're going to give you the ball game and the lineups. We'll start off with the visitors from Fukuoka. Leading off and playing in center field is number 23, Yukio Shudo. Batting second and playing first base is number 55, Daiji Nomura. Heading third and doing the designated hitting is number 9, Yuki Yanagita. And the cleanup spot and playing in left field is number 3, Kensuke Kondo. In the fifth spot and in right field is number 7, Akira Nakamura. Batting sixth and playing shortstop is number 6, Kenta Imamiya. Hitting seventh and third base is number 43, Tomoya Inoue. Batting eighth is the second baseman, number 13, Masaki Momori. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 19, Takuya Kai. And they're going to be facing Kazuya Ojima, who takes to the hill with an 8-5 record. He's worked 137 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 126 hits. He has given up 55 runs. 52 have been earned. He's walked 48, struck out 98, and he's got an ERA of 3.40. Well, that's the starting lineup for the visitors from Fukuoka. And now the starting lineup for the home team, the Chiba Lotte Marines. Leading off and playing right field is number 13, Taiga Hirasawa. Batting second in left field is number 50, Shingo Ishikawa. Batting third at third base is number 72, Mike Brosu. And the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 22, Gregory Polanco. Batting fifth at first base is number 44, Seiya Inoue. Hitting sixth and doing the catching is number 32, Toshiya Sato. Batting seventh at second base is number 8, Shogo Nakamura. Batting in the eighth spot and playing shortstop is number 67, Kenta Chitani. And batting ninth in center field is number 63, Kashiro Wada. And they're going to face the 42-year-old veteran of the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, the left-hander Tsuyoshi Wada. He takes to the hill with a 6-6 record. He has worked 89 1/3 innings. He's allowed 80 hits, 37 runs, 34 have been earned. He's walked 27 and struck out 71. And he's got an ERA of 3.43. Well, those are your starting lineups. And we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in, whether you listen live or on the delay. We're glad you can listen to the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel for all the action in the NPB. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. As the left-hander Ojima is just completing his warm-up tosses, we are about ready to get this one underway. At the top of the order, it'll be Shudo, Nomura, and Yanagita to get things going here tonight. There is a slate of games, a full slate of games across the NPB tonight, as this is just one of the 6 games, or check that, 5 games on the docket. We are 1 game short in the Central League, as it is going to be the night off for the Swallows and the Carp. So this is how it's going to shape up. And we'll keep an eye on the other games tonight as this one moves along, as we will be able to check in on all the action. Well, Ojima's ready to go, as he's ready to face Yukio Shudo here for the first pitch of the ball game. It is going to be at 6:01 local time, and the first pitch is a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and we are underway here in Chiba. The left-hander Ojima ready to deliver again. He kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count now goes to 0-2 on Shudo. Shudo batting .245 on the season with 2 homers and 17 runs driven in. Waits here on the offering from the lefty, who is ready to kick and deliver. And that pitch there actually steps off the rubber now as he just resets himself. So here comes the 0-2 offering. He kicks and he fires. Fastball that just misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yukio Shudo. It'll be a big ball game here tonight between these two clubs as they battle for second spot. The 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. So Yukio Shudo, who's really picked up the pace, he's raised his average as we set up to 245. He was languishing a long time down around the 200 and even below the 200 mark. Getting a chance to play regular over the last 3.5 weeks, he has really picked up his game. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded by Nakamura. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Shudo on a groundout 4-3. So Shudo goes in the books for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Daiju Nomura. Well, for Nomura, he's batting .235 on the season. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. He gets the start at first base here tonight, as we have seen him in action quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. He stands in on the right side against the lefty Ojima, who delivers a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Nomura. Lefty Ojima ready to deliver again. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. As we mentioned, we will keep you updated on all the action on the across the out-of-town scoreboard as we move along. We will be peeking in on that Golden Eagle Fighter game as much as possible. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed. The count now goes to 1-2 on Nomura. Defensively tonight for the Chiba Lotte Marines, from left to right, it's Ishikawa in left. The center fielder is Wada, and in right field, Hirasawa. Around the horn from first to third, it's Inoue at first, Nakamura at second, Chitani at short, and the third baseman is Brosu, as that fastball is swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. And the battery, of course, is Ojima and Sato. Marines wearing their traditional home whites with the black pinstripe. And on the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks tonight, they've got their white pants with the black tops. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball down in the dirt, swung on and missed. And the tag applied by the catcher, Sato, that goes in the books to retire Nomura on a strikeout for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita, he is hitting .300 even on the button. 20 homers and 79 runs batted in. He has been playing steady throughout the year. He started a little bit slowly, has picked up his pace. We were saying in one of our other streams about a week or so ago when we were doing the Hawks that it's going to be important for Yanagita and Kondo to carry the club into the playoffs. They really need these two to keep it going. Maybe even get somebody else to join the party. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Yanagita. Balls and 1 strike. Lefty Ojima gets a new baseball to work with, and he's ready to go again. Gets his sign from his catcher, Sato. He works to the set position. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down. The count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Ojima working to the set position. Even though there's nobody on, he throws from that set. Here's the offering. Fastball swung on, lined up the middle, taken by the second baseman. Nakamura almost took the head off of the pitcher. It was the shortstop Chitani as they had moved the second baseman well into the hole. That ball almost hit Ojima right in the head. He had to go right to his backside. He comes up with a smile, and that is going to do it. It's going to go down as a ground out 6-3. He's in the books. Yanagita is for out number 3, and that's going to do it here in the top of the first inning. Had to do a double take on that one. That will do it here. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. It is your score, 0-0 as we move to the bottom of the first. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order to come to bat here in the bottom of the first inning for the Chiba Lotte Marines. That means it's Taiga Hirasawa, Shingo Ishikawa, and Mike Brosu to come to bat here. No runs, no hits, no errors in that top of the first inning for the Hawks, and it is the Marines who are going to look to get it going here. Hirasawa steps to the plate. He's batting $176 on the year with 3 homers and 8 runs driven in. The left-handed hitting Hirasawa waiting on the first pitch from Lotte, who kicks and delivers a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Lotte will work quickly here when there's nobody on, as he gets the ball and goes right back to work. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This is lifted foul down the third baseline, and now Hirasawa's in the hole at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Lotte rocking into the windup. And he kicks and delivers a fastball swung on and missed. And Hirasawa goes in the books for out number 1. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Shingo Ishikawa. Well, defensively tonight for the Hawks from left to right field, it's Kondo in left, the center fielder is Shudo, and the right fielder is Nakamura. Around the horn from first to third, Daiju Nomura at first, Mamori at second, the shortstop's Imamiya with Inoue at third. And, of course, the battery to begin here is Wada and Kai. So 1 in the books as the lefty gets ready to go back to work as Ishikawa digs himself in. The first offering is on its way as Wada rocks into the windup and delivers. It is a fastball that just misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Ishikawa batting .354 on the season with a homer and 5 RBIs. He does have limited at-bats. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count runs even to 1-1. We're a little undecided on what game we're going to call tomorrow night. We will be back on the airwaves as time has been called, as Ishikawa feels that Wada is working way too quickly. And so he is now stepped back in the box. So Wada is ready to go again. I think that would be something that I'd be doing regular to Wada, is making him throw his timing off as that fastball misses down and the count is 2-1. He just has such a rhythm when he gets going. And you want to try to disrupt that rhythm a little bit of the pitcher. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on, and that's fouled away. The count is 2-2. Often talk about pitching is disrupting the timing and the rhythm of the hitters, but certainly of the pitcher in this case. He really dictates the flow how this game goes. Here comes the 2-2 offering as the lefty Wada rocks into the windup. And he pitches and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains at 2-2. Wada, one of the few players with major league experience in the Japanese, from Japanese heritage, I should say, in this one here tonight, as he had spent time with the Chicago Cubs organization. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to short, fielded by Imamiya. He throws to first. That's going to retire Ishikawa. It goes in the books as a ground out, 6-3. And Ishikawa is gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Mike Brosu. Well, Brosu was a mid-season acquisition by the Marines. He was with the Milwaukee Brewers And prior to that, with the Tampa Bay Rays, the Oakland University Golden Grizzly, as he had played his college baseball in the state of Michigan. It's a D1 program north of Detroit. Here's the first pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. If you've ever had a chance to get to the campus, it's absolutely beautiful. Our friend Louis in the house, he says, good morning. The standings are looking very close. Can't get any closer than this. There's a fastball swung on. This is belted into deep left field. This could be trouble. Back at the warning track and making the grab up against the fence is the left fielder Kondo. And that is going to do it here. Brosu sent it a long way, just not deep enough. And he is going to be retired for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Marines in their half of the first. They go in order as well. There was no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board, but a big scare there as Brosu took the lefty Wada to the deepest part of left field. Just not deep enough. We'll be back in just a couple moments, everybody. Appreciate you for jumping in. We're going to the top of the second inning, locked at zeros. Be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Hawks here in the second inning. That means Kazuki Kondo, Akira Nakamura, and Kenta Imamiya to face the lefty Ojima here as he is ready to come back for inning number 2. We have tomorrow night, we will make our announcement on which game we're going to do. We will post up more than likely 2 feeds. We're going to try to get the feed for the Giants and the Bay Stars. That's our first choice. If we can't do that, then more than likely tomorrow night, we'll give you the game between I believe the Golden Eagles and the Fighters are back on for yet another one tomorrow night. And that is our other option, as they will be the ones fighting for the playoff spot no matter what. So it is going to be Kondo who steps in here on the first pitch from Ojima on the way. It's a breaking ball that just misses down and away for ball 1. Count is 1-0. Kondo batting .298. He's got 23 homers and 82 runs batted in. Hits from the left side against the lefty Ojima, who works to the set position and now delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike on the inner corner, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kensuke Kondo. Lefty working himself to the belt. Here comes the 1-1 pitch as he kicks and delivers a breaking ball that's waved at and missed by Kondo. And now he's in the hole at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Depending on how this game fares and how the other games go around the NPB, we may give some bonus coverage at the end of the game. So stick around if you are there for that. So here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it's a grounded foul over on the first base side. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jima gets himself another baseball. He rubs it up, and he's ready to go back to work. Hard to find an empty seat in this one here tonight, as both of these teams battling it out for that 2 spot. As that breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes even to 2s. I would have to think that both of these clubs here, certainly with the Marines with some games in hand, it's probably more important game here for the Hawks to have to pull out a victory here. That starts to put the pressure on the Marines and the Eagles behind them. Here comes the 2-2. fastball swung on and lifted foul down the third base line. It's going to reach the seats just over top of the third base dugout. As we said, the Hawks have the most games played of the three clubs. They've played 134. The Marines are at 131, and the Eagles are at 133. So a few makeup games here between now and the end of the season. As the lefty delivers the 2-2. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. This ball is going to be trouble. Back onto the warning track, and this one is gone. A home run for Kondo as he goes opposite field. He just hits it a little bit further than Mike Brosu's blast. Brosu hit that one right to the warning track. Kondo went up them and hit him about 10 feet further, and that is going to be a home run, a solo shot here at the top of the second inning, and that's going to give the Hawks a 1-0 lead. So 1-0 for the Hawks. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Akira Nakamura. There's a lot of fist pumps around and about. That's home run number 24 on the season for Kondo. As I said at the first inning, it's got to be Kondo and Yanagita have really got to carry the mail, and you got to hope for another one or maybe even two players to join the party. As the first pitch is a fastball, it's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Akira Nakamura. Four of the first five hitters to come to bat are all left-handed sticks here against the lefties. We've noted this is that it is not necessarily a matchup league, as that breaking ball misses down and away. The count goes to 1-1 on Akira Nakamura. Nakamura is hitting .281 on the season with those 4 homers and 35 runs batted in. He has been out of action for a little bit. As the lefty delivers, there is a fastball swung on line right back to the pitcher, caught by Ojima, and that is going to retire Nakamura. That's the second time in as many innings that a ball has been blistered off the bat of a Hawks hitter right toward the pitcher. It was Yanagita who almost took his head off in the last inning, as it was the shortstop Chitani, who was playing nearly over top of the bag, who made the play. So Nakamura is in the books for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Kenta Imamiya. Well, for Imamiya, he's hitting .259 on the year with 9 homers and 45 runs batted in. And he takes a off-speed pitch down in the dirt for ball one. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Imamiya waggling the bat. Waiting here on the offering from Ojima. Here comes the 1-0 as he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Ojima ready to come back to work again as he gets his sign from his catcher, Sato. And here comes the 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 3-0. So we said that home run here by Kondo to lead off the inning is 24th of the season. That gives him 83 runs batted in. He would have to go on an absolute rampage to reach 100 RBIs. I don't think anybody in the Pacific League is going to reach that mark this year. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and Imamiya is going to get himself a 1-out walk. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Tomoya Inoue. Well, for Inoue, he's hitting .222 on the season. He's got no homers and 2 RBIs. He gets the start at third. We were talking about this earlier before. It's been a bit of a revolving door at third base. Last year, Nobuhiro Masuda, the veteran, left. Longtime Hawks veteran, left to join the Yomiuri Giants. And really, at the end of the day, I thought his career was pretty much over. But nobody's really stepped up to replace. It's been on and off again for the defense here, as it was Ryoya Kurihara had opportunity at third base. Now it's Inoue. We've seen Kawase over there, as that pitches a fastball that misses up for ball 1 to Inoue. It's 5 balls in a row delivered here by the lefty Ojima. So 1 ball and no strikes as the lefty works to the belt. And here comes the pitch. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. They also had Richard from the second team come on up and play some third base. But they really are going to have to address that in the offseason. That production from that position is basically I don't want to say non existent, but maybe inconsistent at best. So here comes the 2-0 pitch as Jima works to the belt. He checks the runner Imamiya over at first. And here comes the pitch. He squares the bunt, and then he pulls back. Does Inoue. He takes a called strike, and the count is 2-1. It looked like he was not in a position to sacrifice as much as he wanted to drag something down the third base line. More thinking for a base hit than anything else. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Inoue. Maybe it gets his lead over at first. Here comes the offering, and instead they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Imamiya. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Inoue. It is Masaki Momori who waits his turn on deck. Here comes the offering. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 3-1. Be curious how both managers will handle this situation tonight. Should their starters get into some early trouble, if they're going to go quick to the bullpen or not. Roki Sasaki was scratched from his start the other night, so curious to know how they're going to plan to use him, when he will be available, when he will get his next opportunity. I wouldn't think that they would go a whole week without starts until he gets a chance again. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. It's lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. Runs the count full to Inoue. So I just guess we're going to have the wait and see attitude with that. As we said, tomorrow night we'll set up 2 game streams. And the possibility of the game, it'll be the Golden Eagles and the Lions who we would actually set up in the Pacific. And then, of course, in the other one, it's going to be the ball game that we would look to call between the DNA Bay Stars and the Giants. The question is will we be able to get a feed on that game? Just scoreboard watching a little bit in the top of the second inning, the Golden Eagles have jumped out to a 1-0 lead against the Fighters. That game is at Escon Field. 1-0 for the Tigers over the Dragons. That's pretty much a nothing affair. As there's a fastball that misses down, that's going to be ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued here by Ojima. It's going to bring up the second baseman, Masaki Momori. So runners at first and second with 2 gone, and it's going to bring the catcher Sato up to the mound. Have a few words with his pitcher Ojima here. Forward looking ahead also to tomorrow night, they have announced the starters. So the Marines are playing the Fighters tomorrow night. It is going to be Manabu Mima going for the Fighters, and he'll be going against Cody Ponce. The game that's going to feature the Lions and the Buffaloes, it'll be Saito going for the Buffaloes against Wataru Matsumoto of the Lions. Then on the other side of the ledger in the Central League, Yori Yamazaki goes for the Giants against Kazuki Higashi for the Bay Stars. That's the one we'd like to look in at tomorrow night. Be a pivotal game depending upon what happens tonight. Then, of course, you've got the Dragons going and playing at the Carp. Hideki Wakui goes for the Dragons against Hiroki Takota of the Carp. And there is a breaking ball delivered to Momori, and he swings and misses, and the count is 0-1. So we are resuming the action here. The other game, it's a nothing game. Yuki Nishi takes to the hill for the Hanshin Tigers against Keiji Takahashi for the Swallows. Of course, the Swallows are also finished. So 2 games that won't really pay a whole lot of attention to. So no balls and 1 strike to Momori. Runner at second, Imamiya. Runner at first is Inoue. As Ojima holds at the belt, he checks the runners. And now he delivers. It's a breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count now is 0-2. Both of those pitches had Momori diving out of the box almost. I shouldn't say diving, stepping out of the box as if he's going toward first base, and he was well off of the pitch, both of those ones there. So no balls and 2 strikes. So Chima's way ahead in the count. The lefty gets his sign from his catcher, Sato. He's ready to go to work. And here's the offering. It's a fastball that misses way down and away. Good stop there by Sato, who asks for time, and he's going to exchange baseballs with the home plate umpire. 13 pitches in the first inning for Ojima, and he's already thrown 23 here in the second. He has really had to work. It was the Kazuki Kondo leadoff home run that got the party started here in the top of the second. And then back-to-back walks with 1 out issued to Imamiya and Inoue. As it's 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Momori, and now he's asked for time because he's got to get himself resettled back in. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lefty Ojima gets the sign from Sato, and he's ready to go back to work. He checks the runner at second and the runner at first. And now he kicks and delivers. Fastball down. Another great stop there by Sato. And again, the catcher calls time. This time he took it up around the throat area. One thing I don't like is the way the Sato wears his body armor. That one there, you can see it, the chest protector, he really hangs low on him. And as he went down to block, it's an area there right by the collarbone that becomes exposed. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here, as it is to the left-handed hitting second baseman of the Hawks. Ojima gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go again. Checks again the runners as he holds to the set. Here comes the pitch. And it's a breaking ball. Waved at and missed, and Momori goes in the books. He's gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Takuya Kai. Well, for Kai, he's entering the game tonight hitting .202. He's got 10 homers and 40 runs driven in. He is not necessarily known for his bat as much as he is for his outstanding defensive play and his leadership behind home plate. Takuya Kai is very, very active. So Kai waggling the bat. Ready to make the offering is the lefty Ojima, who works to the belt. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Excited again as it's getting toward the end of the year, getting into that playoff crunch time. Pretty much we know that 2 teams are eliminated in both of the, well, I shouldn't say 2 because technically the Saitama Cebu Lions are still alive. Mathematically alive, but pretty much on life support. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses outside. Count goes to 2-0 on Kai. They would have to pretty much run the table and hope for some miracles. I remember a number of years ago, Sparky Anderson, who used to manage the Cincinnati Reds and Detroit Tigers, one time said going into the month of September, he'd rather be 10 games behind one team than 5 games behind 3 teams fighting for a playoff spot. And that's kind of where it is they've got 3 teams that they'd be chasing. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball that catches the outside corner to Kai, and the count is 2-1. So the Lions are a couple of games off of the pace of the Tohoku Rakuten Gold Eagles. In fact, they're 4 games off the pace. And with 8 games to play, they basically have to run the table and hope for a lot of miracles for those other 3 teams for them to be able to get into the playoffs. But I think as far as I'm concerned, the Saitama Cebu Lions are finished. Here's the 2-1. It's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. Kai does a 180, walks out of the batter's box, doesn't like the call. That pitch looked like it was a little bit high, maybe a little bit inside. We'll get the replay on that there, and maybe the height was better than we thought it was. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kai. And it makes you wonder what the Lions would have done if they would have not lost their starting first baseman Yamakawa. Just the whole year this year, obviously he's got a assault charge hanging over his head. The former home run champion in 2022 in the Pacific League. There's a breaking ball swung on it. His pop foul over on the first base side. Giving chase is Sato, but it's going to land on top of the Marines dugout. Keeps the count at 2-2. So when you start thinking about the use of analytics or wins above replacement, how many extra wins would Yamakawa have given the Saitama Cebu Lions this year? And where would they have been in the mix had they had the big fella in their lineup? But when I was inside him a couple of weeks ago, it was interesting. Like, they basically wiped their hands clean with Yamakawa. Not a single poster, not a single billboard, not a single advertisement. The only thing that you might find him in are the baseball cards produced early in the year. As the 2-2 pitch misses inside to Kai, that's going to run the count full. And the thing is, I'm probably sure that the Lions had their way, they'd be ripping out the Yamakawa cards out of the packs and repackaging them if they could, but they don't do that. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kai. He's pretty much been a disgraced individual in Saitama, which is unfortunate for him. Here comes the 3-2. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Ojima retires Kai for the 3rd out of the inning, and he gets himself out of a serious jam here in the 2nd inning. Well, they had 1 run in the inning. It was the home run by Kondo. 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 1 and the Chiba Lotte Marines no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. It is 1-0 for the Hawks. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Marines in their half of the 2nd inning. That means Gregory Polanco, Seiya Inui, and Toshiya Sato to face the veteran lefty Iwata. My thoughts on this one here tonight is that they've got to get to Iwata, and they've got to get him early if they want to get him out. And if they can do that, then that would end up chasing him and give them an opportunity, being the Marines, for a serious chance at some victory here. But gets into the bullpens, my needle would probably shift more often than not towards the Hawks. Although the Hawks have been banged up a little bit. Obviously, we've talked about Levon Mainello not being around. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, but we do see Fuji back on the game sheet, as that is good news for them. And of course, Roberto Osuna at the back end. Here comes the 0-1 offering. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the right field line. It is just going to hook foul, as Polanco hit that one hard. He was way out in front. No balls and 2 strikes to Gregory Polanco. He hook barreled that one. Didn't even get to the seats where the temporary seating is. Here's the 0-2. Fastball comes up and in and backs Polanco off the plate, and that goes to 1-2. Polanco, with the 25 home runs on the season, has been flirting at and around and above at the home run a leadership spot in the Pacific League. Currently, he is tied with Hideto Asamura for the with the Tohoku Ball Club. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. Chusei Manami at 24, and with the home run tonight by Kondo, that gives him 24 as well. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Polanco goes in the books. He's gone for out number 1. It's going to bring up the first baseman, Seiya Inoue. We were talking a little bit about Polanco the other night. We were saying with the type of season that he's enjoying this year, one would have to think that he's probably earned himself another contract, if not a multi-year contract in the NPB. I just don't think that he's got enough juice to get back to Major League Baseball. He just turned 32 last week, did Polanco, as the first pitch to Inoue is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Polanco has played some outfield for the Marines as well this year. Was a pretty good outfielder when he was younger. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. When he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates, it was Andrew McCutchen, Gregory Polanco, and Starling Marte. Quite the outfield, which we thought was going to be around for a long time. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted down the right field line. Giving chase is the first baseman, Nomura, but he's going to watch it drift into the seats. And that's going to keep the count at 0-2 to Inoue. No balls and 2 strikes. Lefty Iwata rocking into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on, another ball that's lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty Iwata rocks into the delivery, there is a breaking ball that misses down. The count now goes to 1-2 on Inoue. Trying to get the other feed. We've got the Buffaloes as well as them against the Lions. Trying to get that one. Trying also to get the Fighters and the Golden Eagles feed up as well. I'll see how that game is working out. That game, as we said, is played at Escon Field. As there is a fastball that is waved at and missed by Inoue. He goes in the books for out number 2. So back-to-back strikeouts here by Iwata. That's 3 on the ball game for him. It brings up Toshiya Sato. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Sato. As we said, we'll keep an eye on that game. Right now in Hokkaido, there's a fastball that swung on and missed. Now the count goes to 1-1 on Sato. The Golden Eagles are threatening in that one. It is in the top of the 3rd. They're up 1-0, and they've got 2 on. Looks like 1 out. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. It is Shimauchi in the middle part of the order that is batting for the Golden Eagles. Of course, we called the game the other night when Shimauchi hit the walk-off home run to win the game in the bottom of the 9th inning. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Iwata has struck out the side here in the 2nd inning. He goes through the Marines in order. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board as he did K the side. Now through 2 complete, your score is the Hawks 1 and the Marines no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll come on back and give you the top of the 3rd when we return in just a bit. My friend CV Baseball Card Collector in the house. We'll come back and talk to CV in just a few. Watched a few of his shorts today. If you guys are around, make sure you check him out as well. He's got some interesting shorts as he's doing his pack-a-day every day in some of his rips. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the third inning, and it's going to be the top of the batting order to come to bat here for the Hawks in their half of the third inning. Shuto Nomura and Yanagita to come to bat here to face the left-hander Kazuya Ojima, who's going to bring in his third inning work. His only real blemish was the solo shot offered up to Kazuki Kondo to give the Hawks that 1-0 lead as he led off the second inning with his 24th homer of the year. So Shuto, who's 0 for 1 tonight, grounded out to second his first time up. Stands in on the left side here, ready to face the lefty Ojima. Our friend CV Baseball Card Collector, who is in the house, was posting up some videos as he does his one a day. I also looked, I think it might have been an older video off a ship down in Long Beach, as there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Popped up onto the stream today. Get a chance to flick through some of the stuff. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Ojima. And the pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 1-1. 44 pitches, or check that, 45 pitches through 2 innings for Ojima. Not the most economical. CV said it was number 953 that he had ripped apart. I think it was the last of his upper deck stuff, as that breaking ball is cut the outside corner and the count goes to 1-2 on Shuto. He says 47 more to 1,000. That's 2 years plus of daily rips. Here comes the 1-2. That's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded to third. Brosu has it. He throws to first. And that is going to retire the speedy Shuto on a ground out 5-3. Brosu had to react there quickly. He was able to make the play, and he retires Shuto for the first out of the inning. And that brings up Daiji Nomura. Well, for Nomura, he entered the game batting .235 tonight. He struck out his first time up against the crafty lefty Ojima here. As Ojima's ready to go to work again, as he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Nomura waggling the bat here, waiting on the offering from the lefty. Works to the set and now kicks and fires. A fastball swung on and missed. The count goes even to 1-1. Yuki Yanagita to follow here in the third inning. There's only traffic on the base paths was by the Hawks in the second inning. The home run and then a couple of walks issued by Ojima. Outside of that, it's been pretty tame here so far tonight. Here comes the 1-0. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Check that. The 1-1 is now 1-2. A little bit behind on the computer scoreboard on the NPB site. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Nomura waits in here from the offer from Ojima, the lefty, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Nomura goes in the books for a strikeout for the second time tonight. That's 2 gone here in the third inning, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to short his first time up. I say grounded sort of loosely, as he had hit a rocket right back at the pitcher's head. It was taken on 1 hop by the shortstop, who was almost over the bag at second base. It had retired Yanagita. His average has slipped to 299 on the year. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Also, a reminder to our listeners, we also stream on Twitch. This game is going on both YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. So those who do listen in on Twitch, we appreciate you as well. Here comes the 0-1 offering as Ojima kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, tapped right back to the pitcher. Fields his position. He throws to first. That's going to retire Yanagita on a ground out 1-3. And that's going to do it here in the top of the third for the Hawks. Well, they go quietly in order, 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard. Moving to the bottom half of the third inning, your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 1. The Chiba Lotte Marines no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. Score is 1-0 as we move to the last half of the third inning. We'll be right back in just a couple. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the last half of the third inning, and it'll be the bottom third of the batting order to come to bat for the Marines. It'll be Shogo Nakamura, Kenta Chitani, and Koshiro Wada, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to try to get things going here against the lefty Tsuyoshi Wada. Wada has struck out 4 of the 6 batters he's faced here tonight. He is vintage Wada in this one. If you were a gambler and betting on the over-under and the strikeouts, I'm not sure what the total for somebody like Wada would be. He certainly is not at 1 per inning in his career. The first pitch is a fastball swung on and lifted foul. The count is quickly 0-1. But at this point in time in his career, he is more of a strikeout every couple of innings. He's won every other inning as the lefty rocks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. I was looking at his numbers prior to the start of this game, and back in the day when he was striking out well over 1 an inning. As the lefty delivers, it's a fastball that just misses inside. Count now goes to 2-1 on Nakamura. They appealed to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go. In his early days, he was well over 1 an inning. He began his career in 2003 with the Fukuoka Dai Hawks, as the sponsor has changed, as there's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul. Going to reach the seats behind home plate, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura. The crowd is in good form here, as the supporters for the Marines are bounding up and down. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 3-2 on Nakamura. In his heyday, 180-plus innings a year was not out of the question for Wada. As the 3-2 is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 3-2. He had left for better or different pastures. He was from 2012, 2015, he was in Major League Baseball. So 4 years of his career left to go to the MLB. There's a ball that is struck foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 3-2. So Nakamura giving Wada the battle here. But he has always been a hawk. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the lefty kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on, and another ball lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains at 3-2. This is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to Nakamura. I'll say this, that Wada doesn't necessarily have an overpowering fastball anymore. He does locate, change speeds, hits his spot, but if he can pull the string here, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. Moving over and making the catch is Yukio Shudo. That's going to retire Nakamura, but I was thinking more along the lines of maybe pulling the string and taking something a little bit more off of that pitch, but the result is the same. There was a good swing there by Nakamura, but he's retired for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Kenta Chitani. For Chitani, he's hitting .273 on the year. He's got no homers and 9 RBIs. He got the start at shortstop tonight. And the pitch is on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on. Grounded softly to short. Emamiya fields it. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Chitani on a groundout, 6-3. He goes in the books for out number 2. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Koshiro Wada. Well, this is Wada's first trip to the plate tonight. He's hitting .238 on the year. He's got a couple of homers and 6 RBIs. I have to say, I really was a little bit of an eyebrow raiser at the lineup that they rolled out here tonight. I don't know the status, if there's been some players that are still injured or not. But Hiromi Oka not in the ball game tonight. It was one of them. Koki Yamaguchi, another player, is squaring to bunt his Wada, and he bunts that foul down the third base line, and the count is 0-1. So those are the first two, not having Yamaguchi and Oka in the lineup, especially in a ball game like tonight where they've been pretty much your foot soldiers the entire year. Yudai Fujioka not getting the start tonight. Hisanori Yasuda not getting the start tonight. As the 0-1 is on the way, and it's a fastball taken for a called strike. 0-2. So 4 players that I would consider to be more regular players, not in the lineup. And if they are injured, well, that's another topic. But if they're a little bit sore, I guess the question is why not? Big game here. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, and it's going to get down for a hit. That's going to be the first hit of the ball game here for the Marines. As Wada's aboard with a 2-out single. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Taiga Hirasawa. Well, I would say if I was to bet house and home, I would have to think that Wada is going to be in motion in some variety here, either hit and run or straight steal, but I would be leaning toward the straight steal. And as I say, with Wada here, he does have wheels. He presents an option for the he's got stolen base to run here against Wada. Here's the pitch. And it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is 0-1 to Hirasawa. Hirasawa batting 174 on the year. 3 homers, 8 RBIs. As I said, there's some ugly batting averages in the Marines lineup here tonight. And some eyebrow-raising spots in the order. That's the fastball missing outside. The count now goes to 1-1. Takashio Gino not in the lineup as well as we go through some of the other players. Kyoto Fujiwara, we saw him start the other night. He hasn't played. Haven't seen Shuhei Fukuda in a while. So those are all outfielders that you would have to think would be getting some time here for the Marines. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count now goes to 2-1. So if this is the lineup, it's a bit of a Band-Aid lineup that they're rolling out. Not to make excuses, because we've been commenting about the Hawks lineup being a little bit on the thin side recently. It looks like they're starting to get some bodies, healthy bodies back. Here comes the 2-1 pitch as the lefty delivers. It's a fastball taken for a strike. There goes the runner. The throw down to second is not in time. Wada's got himself a stolen base. It's going to even the count to 2-2 on Hirasawa. So Wada steals second. He's now in scoring position with the 2 out here. Hirasawa's going to have to do something there. Kai's throw was up in the air, and it was Imamiya who did a good job to crawl up the ladder to have to get it. But there was no chance for a tag there on Wada. That's stolen base number 19 on the year. And don't bat an eye if he doesn't take off for third here. He's got a healthy lead here. As the pitch is delivered, there's a breaking ball waved on and missed. And Hirasawa goes into the books. That is going to be the 5th strikeout of the night for Wada. And that is going to do it here for the Marines in their half of the 3rd inning. No runs in the inning. They did get a hit. The single by Wada, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 3 complete. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 1. The Chiba Lotte Marines no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We'll get you updated on what's going around the NPB when we return right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is still 1-0 for the Golden Eagles as they have a lead over the Fighters as they're batting in the top of the fourth inning. There's still a 1-0 lead here on the Kazuki Kondo home run as he went opposite field. It was Mike Brosu who in the previous, or at least in the bottom half of the first inning, almost went yard. He sent it to the deepest part of the ballpark, but he wasn't able to cash in, but Kondo did. Hit it about 10 feet further, almost in the same location. 55 pitches for Ojima through 3. He was able to have a much more efficient inning in the top of the third as the first pitch delivered to Kondo is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Face Ojima. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count goes to 1-1. And interestingly enough, I have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters all hit from the left side. So if you're looking to play the matchup, the Hawks certainly don't really care as they roll out their best guys. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kondo. Ojima gets his sign from his catcher Sato, and he rocks into the delivery. And it's a breaking ball that comes inside, and it is hit Kondo. And he's going to get himself awarded first base. It's a hit batter here. And if you're going to get hit, that's the pitch you want to get hit by. It was more of a breaking ball that didn't break. And he is headed off to first base. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Akira Nakamura. Got it right in the back of the right tricep as he was trying to turn out of the way. Well, Nakamura is 0 for 1 tonight. He had a screaming line drive right back at the pitcher his first time up. We'll see how he bats at the plate as he stands in on the left side. Waiting here on the offering as Ojima works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Nakamura's average is stuck at 281. He's got those 4 homers and 35 RBIs. Waiting here on the offering from the lefty who holds at the belt and now delivers. Fastball swung on in line foul down the left field line. Count is no balls and 2 strikes. And Kondo was on the move on that pitch as well. Interesting there. They were going to put him in motion. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura. As he waits here on the offering from the lefty. As he waits at the belt, and here comes the pitch. As it's on its way, it's a fastball that's down. A nice stop there by the catcher, Sato, who's able to keep that in front. He's been a busy man tonight. He's had quite a few quality blocks, hasn't allowed anything by him. Looked like it was either a 2-seam or a split finger pitch. Neither of them in particular did a whole lot. He pretty much spiked the ball, did Ojima. If that was his split finger pitch, it wasn't like it was a lot of movement to the pitch. Here's the 1-2. As the lefty kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded to third. Brosu fields it. He goes to second for 1. Back to first. That's a double play. It's going to go in the books as a 5-4-3 variety as they get Nakamura on the back end. Kondo erased on the lead side. That's 2 in the books now, and that's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Kenta Emamiya. Wonder if they're going to take a look at that one or not. If the Hawks are, I think as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't. It was a bang-bang play, but we got to look at the replay a little closer on the replay. So Emamiya strides to the plate. He does not officially have an at-bat today. He's got a walk in his only trip. Takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Emamiya hitting .259 with the 9 homers and 45 RBIs. And now Ojima steps off the backside of the rubber, and he's going to want to cycle through the signs again with Sato. So no balls and 1 strike. So Ojima ready to go back to work. Gets the sign from the catcher Sato, and now he's working from the set position. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and in. Causes Imamiya to have to hopscotch out of the way. That's going to run the count even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said, we'll keep everybody updated on the out-of-town scoreboard. And the most important game, of course, what everybody's going to be watching here is that game between the Eagles and the Fighters. Still 1-0 in the top of the 4th. There was a breaking ball swung on and tap foul, and the count is now 1-2 to Imamiya. The other score in the Pacific League, the Buffaloes have a 1-0 lead over the Lions. That's in the bottom of the 3rd. The 2 games in the Central, the meaningless game between the Dragons and the Tigers, 2-1 for the Dragons. That's in the bottom of the 4th. As there's a fastball swung on and missed, and Imamiya goes down on strikes. He's gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it here in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. And we are now moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 1 and the Chiba Lotte. All eyes are on that for them as they could fade right out of the playoff race. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. One nothing scoreline. We'll be back in a few with all the action. It is Hawks 1 and Marines no score. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat here for the Marines in their half of the 4th inning. That means Shingo Ishikawa, Mike Brosu, and Gregory Polanco to get things going against the veteran lefty Wada, who comes out for his 4th inning of work. Wada, as we said, 5 strikeouts tonight, only 1 hit allowed. It was the base hit there by Kashira Wada in the 3rd inning with 2 gone. That broke the ice for the Marines. The lefty rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on and tap foul over on the 3rd base side. The count is 0-1 to Ishikawa. Ishikawa entered the ball game tonight with a fluffed up .354 average. That took a hit with his ground out to the shortstop his first time up. He does have a homer and 5 RBIs. As we said, it was a little interesting that he had the nod here to start tonight. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Lefty Wada ready to go again. As he rocks into the windup, he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses down. The count now goes to 2-1. As a reminder, we stream the game both on Twitch and on YouTube, as YouTube is our main spot that we do call the games. But if you happen to be over on Twitch, make sure you look us up there as well. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. As we said, we'll set up dual streams for tomorrow. As the 3-1 on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike. Ishikawa was walking out of the batter's box toward first base, but the right hand of the umpire is going to bring him back to the batter's box. If we can get a feed for the game between the DNA Baystars and the Giants, we will give you that one. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is going to remain at 3-2 to Ishikawa. It's the game that one would have to think is going to be the most, I would say, important game, but the most popular of the games. Certainly, if the Giants can pull off a victory here tonight, just makes that race even all the more tantalizing tomorrow. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. There is a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul down the first base line. Count remains at 3-2 to Ishikawa. I have to think that both of these lineups here, we're going to see some matchup changes toward the end of the ball game. Can't see the Marines staying with this lineup here tonight all the way through. There comes the 3-2 pitch. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball golfed into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of Kondo. It is a single here for Ishikawa. So he's aboard in the fourth here with a leadoff single. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Mike Brosu. Well, for Brosu, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He had hit that ball right to the wall in left field where Kondo had made the catch in the bottom of the first inning. Was off to a cracker of a start, we thought, in this one. And then, of course, it was Kondo who stepped up and had delivered the home run in the top half of the second inning. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Gregory Polanco waiting on deck. Hawks with the 1-0 lead. Runner at first. Nobody out here. As Brosu waits here on the offering from Wada. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses inside, and the count goes even at 1-1. Remember when Brosu was with the Tampa Bay Rays, he had a big clutch home run in the playoffs against Aroldis Chapman of the Yankees. So Brosu has had his flair for the dramatics at times in his career. Has had some big moments. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Just unfortunately for him, didn't work out in Milwaukee as planned. 1-1 on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into the left field corner. It is cut off by Kondo. Rounding first and heading to second is Brosu. The throw is not going to be in time, as Brosu looks like he's able to swim around the bag. The manager, Fujimoto, is going to come out, and he wants to have a look at this. Really interesting that they threw behind the lead runner. Kondo had raced over to the line to get it. They had no shot in his mind to get the throw to third base. He threw into second. As Brosu came hard, he goes into the base head first. We'll get a look at it, see if he's made it safely. But regardless, we have a challenge here by the manager, Fujimoto, of the Hawks. So let's see what happens. So that ball was hook barrel down the left field line. Before we put it as a double in the books, it was definitely a single, trying to stretch it to 2. Kondo had come up throwing into second. Masaki Momori got it. He ended up receiving the throw. And it was a nice job, actually, there by Brosu to try to evade the tag. The second base umpire stayed with it. We're going to get the look at it right now. To me, his hand got into the base before the tag did, and he was able to keep his hand engaged with the bag as he went by. I think he's going to be safe. We're going to get the outfield view of it. And as far as I'm concerned here, the Hawks are about to lose a challenge. And he didn't come off the bag. He was able to stay on the bag with that as well. Great slide there by Brosu. As the tag, it was not going to get him as Momori. One thing I don't like about Momori's tag is you like to teach young players, get the glove right down to the base. The player has to slide to it. And here comes the umpires, and they say he's safe. And there goes a challenge. So that is going to be a double for Brosu. So he is at second base. Ishikawa is the runner at third. And it is going to bring up the designated hitter, Gregory Polanco, here with 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out. Well, for Polanco tonight, he's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. He's hitting .251 on the year with those 25 homers and 70 runs batted in. The way the defense is playing Polanco is the left side of the infield is in. or shallow, maybe a couple of steps just behind the what we would call the infield grass, although it is plastic they're playing on. The right side is back, so they will trade the run for the out on a ground ball to the right side. And here comes the first pitch from Wada. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Crowd is into it here. They're cheering on their home side here tonight. Marines looking for a win to get back into sole possession of second place. And here comes the 1-0 offering as the lefty works to the set. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. They do have an empty base with nobody out here, as they don't necessarily have to pitch to Polanco. Can make Inoue try to beat you. So 2 balls and no strikes. Marines fans are into it now. Lefty-lefty matchup. Wada gets his side from his catcher, Kai. This has really been the first time that Wada has been in trouble here tonight. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded to the right side. That's going to get a run in. And it is the first baseman, Namura, who's going to take it himself. That's going to go as a ground out to 3. RBI for Polanco. He's gone for out number 1. It advances Ishikawa. He scores the first run of the ballgame for the Marines. Now we're locked up at 1s. And Mike Brosu now moves over to 3rd. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Seiya Inoue. It was a race to the bag. It was not easy. Polanco could still get down the line for the big fella pretty good. He picks himself up an RBI, which is his 71st of the season. And interesting, now they bring the defense full on in. So the defense is now up on the proverbial grass on the artificial turf. Or at least on the green portion of it. So here comes the first offering to Inoue. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It is grounded foul just down the third base line. Brosu had to hopscotch out of the way. No balls and 1 strike to Inoue. That'll keep your sinuses clean if you're Mike Brosu, that's for sure, and everything else in your system. So no balls and 1 strike. A lefty Wada working to the belt, ready to go again. Pitch on the way. Fastball missing outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty leans in, gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go to work again as he works to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that is swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2 on Inoue. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said, infield is in on the grass. They're looking to try to cut the runner off here. Wada working to the set position. As he gets the side from Sato. The 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball, waved at and missed. And Inoue was overmatched there. He's gone on strikes for the second time tonight. That's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Toshiya Sato. So when you talk about important strikeouts, that's number 6 in the books now for Wada. That was actually a changeup. We don't see a ton of pitchers with changeups here in the NPB, but it really had Inoue way out in front. The word I would probably use to describe that at bat as a whole was undisciplined, swinging at pitches erratically. So Inoue's in the books for the second out, and that's going to leave it all up to Sato here, who's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. The first pitch is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty-lefty matchup. Is Wada ready to go back to work again? Gets his side from his catcher. He works to the belt position. And here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Sato. Should Sato reach, it's Shogo Nakamura who waits his turn on deck. But the base runner is Brosu over at third. We're all locked up now at ones with the RBI ground out here by Gregory Polanco. Waddle holding at the belt, and now he's ready to deliver. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As we take a peek at that out-of-town scoreboard to keep you up to date on everything. As we said, we're scoreboard watching all night tonight. Nothing in that Eagles-Fighters game has changed, as there's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count goes to 2-2. That is still a 1-0 game for the Golden Eagles. So if they can get a win, then they will be tied for the third and final playoff spot, as both of these teams here locked up. Although I have to say that in the event that this game ends in a tie, that could change the things a little bit. As it would be certainly something a bit different. It would be a half game. They'd be half game behind. That would really throw a wrench into things. The other game that we're really paying attention to, Bay Stars and the Giants, is still a 1-0 ball game. That is in the 4th inning. So here's the 2-2 pitch. Wada delivers, fastball swung on and lifted foul over top of the third base dugout. Count remains at 2-2. Love to be able to make the call not just tonight, but as we said, possibly tomorrow as well. If we can get that Bay Stars and Giants game, be ecstatic to be able to find that one. If not, then it'll probably be maybe the Marines tomorrow night again. We'll make some decisions a little bit later in the day. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Oh, we thought he was going to ring Sato up. Keeps the count at 2-2 now on Sato. He just got a little piece of that one. Looked like it was a changeup, and he fouled it off. It was weird. It fouled it off, and he fouled it up into his left shin. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sato as he waggles the bat, waiting here on the offering from the lefty Wada. That's Wada gets his sign from his catcher Sato, and now he works to the belt. Now, here comes the pitch. He kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and line foul down the left field line. Count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our midweek crowd a little bit on the light side tonight, but we do appreciate you who are listening in with us. We thank you for stopping in. We don't normally get the bigger crowds. Usually the earlier evening crowds are the ones we get. We'll probably be on the air for 5 of the next 6 days. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on, popped up over into shallow right field. Coming in on it is the right fielder Nakamura, and he's there, and he makes the catch as he calls off the second baseman Momori. And that is going to do it here, as Sato's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Marines get a run back. They had 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 5th inning. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 1 and the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. We'll be back in just a few with all the action, everybody. We appreciate you guys for being here right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're giving it a little test. We lost the sound a little bit there on our last little bit, so hopefully you guys have it there. Hang tight. We'll be right back in just a few. We'll do a little sound check and see if we are still with us. Appreciate you guys for being here tonight. Hang tight. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back to everybody. It's going to be the bottom third of the batting order to come to bat here for the Hawks in their half of the fifth inning. Tomoya Inoue, Masaki Momori, and Takuya Kai come to bat here in a 1-1 ball game as Kazuya Ojima comes on for inning number 5. 66 pitches through 4 innings for the left-hander. Inoue has walked in his only trip to the plate tonight. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses down for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Batting .222 on the year with no homers and a pair of RBIs. Waits here on the offering from the lefty who delivers a fastball that's taken for a called strike at the knees. Count is now even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty goes back again. There's a fastball delivered. This ball is belted to deep left field. This ball could be trouble. And this ball is going to be gone. A home run by Inoue out of nowhere. His first of the season has put the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks ahead 2-1. Nothing worse when you hear that that's the player's first home run of the season and there's only a week left in the year. And he absolutely obliterated that pitch from Okajima. It is now a 2-1 ball game as he gets a round of high fives as he returns to the dugout. I don't know if the bat hit the ball or if the ball hit the bat. But either way, Inoue absolutely smoked that one right into the left field stands. So 2-1 score now for the Hawks as it brings Masaki Momori to the plate. The first offering to Momori is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. They throw to first, and Momori goes in the books as a ground out 6-3. He's gone for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. We talk about it often that the fifth inning is always an inning where the scoring seems to happen. And that is for sure. It is like lightning in a bottle. Next thing you know, ball goes into the seats. That has changed the score line in this one. So 2-1 here for the Hawks as the lefty delivers a slow breaking ball that just misses down, and the count now is 1-0 to Takuya Kai. Kai 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his only trip to the plate. As he kicks and delivers does Okajima, there's a breaking ball that misses way upstairs. The count now is 2-0 to Kai. Just as a reminder, after this inning is complete, we usually get to what we call the Japanese halftime. That's where they have the extended break between the 5th and the 6th innings. And we too will take an extended break as we'll go get ourselves a fresh glass of water or something. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 2-1 to Kai. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Yuko Shudo waits his turn on deck. As the lefty Okajima holds to the set and now delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. This ball is trouble. And this ball is going to get down. It's off the wall. Making the play is the right fielder, Hirasawa. He fires it back into the infield. And sliding into second base is Takuya Kai with a 1-out double. So the Hawks are threatening again, looking to add to their lead. There's nothing worse when you tie the game up or you score a couple of runs, you got to come on back out and put up a 0. And that is certainly not what Okajima has done in this one. Unable to do so, that is for sure. So Takuya Kai aboard with a 1-out double. Yukio Shudo coming to the plate. For Shudo tonight, he is 0 for 2. He's grounded to second and grounded to third. He has 2 trips to the plate. It's the third time he is about to face Okajima here in this one. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This is line past the shortstop into left field. And they're going to throw on the brakes at third base as Takuya Kaya is going to get held up. But a base hit single there by Shudo. That's going to put runners at the corners with one gone. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Daiji Nomura. Or at least it's scheduled to bring him up. And it is going to bring the pitching coach on a full-on trot out of the Marines dugout, as he's going to come out to see his pitcher, Okajima. So the home run by Inoue to begin the inning, his first of the season, has put the Hawks back on top 2-1. After the Momori ground out, a double by Kai and a single by Shudo, has the Hawks looking for more. And in this situation here, you got to be thinking, who knows what's going to happen? Daiji Nomura coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight and struck out both times. So the question will be here is he going to be in a situation where he is going to be bunting? Is it a squeeze potential here or a safety type squeeze? Or I'm interested to see how they're going to play this out. So here comes the first offering to Nomura as Ojima is ready to go back to work here as he works to the belt. And here comes the pitch. He kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs for a ball. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Establishing his lead at first is Shudo. Definitely a threat to run. He has 33 stolen bases on the season. We look at his numbers. He was leading the league in stolen bases, and then it was Kobakata had caught up to him. He has retaken the lead. 33 for him. Kobakata's got 32. And you have to go down to Shuda Tonosaki at 24. There's a breaking ball that comes inside, almost hits Nomura. Count goes to 2-0. Got to make Nomura beat you. He struck out twice. He's entered the game, as we said tonight, hitting 235. Those numbers have taken a drop. Other stolen base leaders, of course, Wada here has got his 19th of the year. As the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-0 on Nomura. And it's the dangerous Yuki Yanagita who waits on deck. This is the guy you want to get. This is the guy you want to go after. And you got Yanagita and Kondo to follow. They're living dangerously here. So 3 balls and no strikes it is here to Nomura as the lefty kicks and delivers. And there is a fastball that misses down and in. It's going to be ball 4, and that is going to load the bases. Bases full of Hawks here in the 5th inning, and that brings up Yuki Yanagita to the plate. That last pitch, you could see that Kazuya Ojima really wanted the pitch, but he wasn't going to get that from the home plate umpire. It did look like it was low. It was a good job by the catcher, Sato, to receive it and try to make that pitch a strike, but definitely not. And it looks like we may have a runner here. We do have a runner for the batter, Nomura. It looks like his night is going to be over. We'll see who they're running here. Looks like it's Seiji Ubiashi in the run at first base. It's an interesting decision. I wonder who they're going to be posting up and putting in at first base from this point on. I guess we'll have to wait that one out. Ubiashi is an outfielder. He is now running for Nomura. So here comes the first offering for Yanagita. The pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. That's 5 balls delivered in a row by Ojima. We saw this act back in the second inning when he did the same to Imamiya and Tomoya Inoue. Kazuki Kondo waits on deck, but there's nowhere to put Yanagita here. There's one gone here in the inning. Here comes the 1-0 offering. As the lefty kicks and delivers, fastball misses upstairs. Counts 2-0. That's now 6 pitches in a row that have been called for balls. Okajima's in a whole host of trouble. The Marines brass has got to make some sort of decision here. I would have to think quickly. Now Okajima has asked for time because he has to tie his shoe, and probably innately knowing that it's time to give the bullpen a little bit of extra time to warm up, because his night looks like it is nearing a close quickly. So 2 balls and no strikes as the left-handed hitting Yanagita waits here on the offering from Okajima. As the lefty holds to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers a fastball that swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. The count goes to 2-1, and that pitch looked like it was a little dicey. I think you got to do a little bit better than that. It was up in the zone. Probably would have been a called strike. But after watching the pitcher throw 6 in a row, you'd like to think you got to time him up a little bit. So 2 balls and 1 strike as Yanagita waits here on the offering from the lefty Okajima. Okajima gets his signs from his catcher Sato. He works to the belt position. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It fouled down the first base line. And now the count goes to 2-2 on Yanagita. Interesting ball game here on our hands as we are in the top half of the 5th inning. Hawks trying to do some damage. Still 1-0 Eagles and Fighters, but the scoreline has been flipped over in Osaka as the Lions now have a 3-2 lead on the Buffaloes. Wouldn't that be interesting if the Lions ran the table from now to the end of the season? I don't think it's going to happen, but what if? We can only fantasize. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some Kojima ready to deliver to the left-handed hitting Yanagita, who waits here. As the left-hander works to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down. Nice stop there by the catcher Sato that runs the count full to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dragons 2-1 over the Tigers. That's in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 for the DNA Bay Stars over the Giants. That's in the bottom of the 5th. As the lefty ready to go again. Checking his sign. He works to the belt. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. Okajima bouncing off the mound. He really wanted that pitch. That's going to be ball 4. It's going to be an RBI. That's going to bring home the runner Takuya Kai from third. He is absolutely hot. As they're going to bring in the infielders there to talk to him. We're going to have to get a look at the replay on that one. That was a really close pitch at the knees. Ojima just not really happy with at all. Oh, he was absolutely frustrated. He jumped in the air. You don't see a lot of major reactions, but the importance of that pitch, walking in the 3rd run here, that goes as an RBI to Yanagita. It's going to keep the bases loaded, and it brings Kazuki Kondo to the plate. Kondo tonight is 1 for 1. He had that homer in the 2nd. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Nowhere to put the left-handed hitting Kondo. He's going to have to face him here. And as I said before, it's just a wonder why they maybe wouldn't have gone with a quicker hook tonight. I hadn't done my homework to see what the last night's usage of the bullpen has been. But you got to think this is a must-win game here. This would put both teams in a great position. There's a breaking ball that taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-1 Hawks here in the top of the 5th inning. Lefty Ojima really battling here. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 gone. Middles in double play depth. They're in at the corners. Ojima gets the side from his catcher, Sato. He works to the belt. And here comes the pitch. He kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. This ball is hit to deep left field. Giving chase on it is the left fielder, and that is hauled in by Ishikawa. Tagging at third is Shudo. He's going to come home to score the 4th run by the Hawks. It's going to be a sacrifice fly to 7. Advancing over to third is Nomura. Shudo scores the run to make it 3-2. An RBI there for Kondo, his 2nd run driven in on the night. It is now a 4-1 lead here for the Hawks in the top of the 5th inning. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Akira Nakamura. Well, for Nakamura tonight, he is officially 0 for 2. He had that bullet back to the pitcher in the 2nd inning. And then he had grounded into a double play of the 5-4-3 variety in the 4th inning. So he bats here with 2 gone and runners at the corners. Let's see if they put Yanagita in motion at all here. Try to get him into scoring position. And the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses low. Count is 1-0 to Nakamura. So 1 ball and no strikes. As we said, if we can possibly get that stream for tomorrow night with the Bay Stars and the Giants, that is the one that we will look to do. I have a feeling we probably will have some success in trying to get that one. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up into shallow center field. Drifting back on it is the shortstop Chitani. Coming in is the center fielder Wada, and it's going to be Chitani who makes the catch as he trips, as he almost fell over making the catch. And that is going to retire Nakamura for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they had 3 runs in the inning, did the Hawks, on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is the Hawks 4 and the Marines 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight. It is the Last Perhaps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few. We got ourselves a 4-1 ball game now, and we will be back in just a few as the Hawks have the lead here as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It is going to be Shogo Nakamura, Kenta Chitani, and Kashiro Wada to face the lefty Tsuyoshi Wada, who's going to begin his 5th inning of work. The veteran left-hander has been stellar here tonight as he has 6 strikeouts through the 4 innings. It is vintage Wada on our hands here, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down for a ball to Nakamura, so 1 ball and no strikes. Have to get you the change in the lineup, as they did take Nomura out, did the Hawks. We'll see who they have replaced him with at first base. Looks like it is Akira Nakamura moving over to first. It is Seiji Ubiashi who came in to hit for him. He is going to stay in the game in right field. So that is the change, as the pitch is a 1-1 pitch delivered. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 1-2 now to Nakamura. So interesting piece of work there, as Ubiashi is replaced him. There's a fastball that just misses outside to Nakamura, and the count now goes to 2-2. So we're chuckling a little bit about the over-unders in this one here, as the fastball is swung on, it is lifted down the right field line, giving chase, and leaping toward the stands is the right fielder Ubiashi, but that's going to get into the stands. I didn't think he had a shot at it, but he ended up leaping into the seats almost and couldn't quite come up with it. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and another one lifted down the right field line, but this is going to get well into the seats. Ubiashi not even making an attempt this time. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty Wada working back into the windup. He kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2 to Nakamura. It's been an entertaining ball game here tonight, but the Marines here are letting it slip out of their fingers as the 2-2 is delivered. It's a fastball swung on, grounded through the 6-hole into left field. That's going to be a base hit. So Nakamura with another quality at bat, even though he flew out to center field his first time. He had himself a 9-pitch at bat. This time here, it's an 8-pitch at bat, ends up in a base hit. So Nakamura maybe seeing the ball a little bit better. He's aboard as the captain of the Marines, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Kenta Chitani. Well, for Chitani, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to short his last time up. Interesting to see if they'll maybe try to nickel and dime a run here, but down by 3, they need more than just 1. Here's the first offering. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1 to Chitani. Left-hander against the right-hander, as Wada works himself set to the belt. Checks the runner and now delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and now the count goes to 0-2 on Chitani. So no balls and 2 strikes. Left-hander against the right-hander, as the lefty Wada kicks and delivers a breaking ball that misses outside. Count now goes to 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes here to Chitani. They got the leadoff hitter on in Nakamura. It'll be Wada to follow here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And as I said before, it was one of those pieces that you get frustrated with, as they certainly scored the run to get that run back, and then they end up giving up 3 in that next inning as that breaking ball misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-2. That's where it becomes particularly frustrating if you are a pitching coach or a manager of a ball club. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined over the head of the second baseman into right field. And the Marines are going to play station-to-station ball as Nakamura is going to stop at second. Single here by Chitani. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Wada, who had the first hit of the ball game for the Marines. That's going to bring out the pitching coach of the Hawks. So Kashiro Wada coming to bat here, I would say in this situation, now maybe we would think about the sacrifice bunt, especially with the top of the order coming up. So back-to-back singles by Nakamura and Chitani. And the Marines have something going here in their half of the inning. Always get a little kick out of it as watching one of our little short videos go off. We were talking about this the other night. Rookie pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies who made his debut and got his first punch out yesterday. Orion Kerkering. So people are in checking out his video. That is for certain. And we appreciate you for doing that. So Wada is squaring to bunt as there's no out. Runners at first and second. The pitch comes. He drops it down and he bunts it foul down the third base line. The count is quickly 0-1. Wada can run pretty well. So even though he is looking to try to sacrifice the runners over, it's not a gimme that he's going to be an easy out at first base. So no balls and one strike to Wada. You got to expect it again here. As they're holding that runner close over at second base. The shortstop is in behind him. So here comes the 0-1 offering as the lefty holds to the set. Now he kicks and fires. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Wada, with that knock in the first inning, has raised his average up to just over 240. As the 1-1 pitch is ready to come here from the lefty Wada. And it is bunted. It is on the first base line, and they're just going to let it spin foul. Nakamura came in chasing it down, and then it took a weird spin. And he ended up getting away from him, and he let that one roll foul. That's going to run the count to 1-2 now on Wada. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll see if they keep the bunt on in this situation. Some of the teams definitely do. Not like Wada swings a hot stick, but he is a tough man to double up. So the lefty holds to the set. Here comes the 1-2 offering. He kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2. No sign of a bunt in that situation, so maybe they're going to let him take a hack here. Waiting on deck is the top of the order, Taiga Hirasawa. Left-hander against the left-hander. Wada gets his sign from Sato. He checks the runner over at second base. And here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wada looking to earn himself a walk here to load the bases. Setting the table up here for the big part of the batting order, or the top part. We'll lead it into the big part. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nowhere to put them. Well, you could put them at spot here, and the pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul. Count remains at 3-2. Actually, there is the open base, but it is over at third. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Wada. Runner at second, Nakamura. Runner at first is Chitani. Wada here probably at the close to the end of his leash. He's at 89 pitches now. Be curious to see if he even sees the top of the order. As the lefty kicks and delivers. And it's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Wada stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched that go by for out number 1. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Taiga Hirasawa. That's going to be the 7th strikeout tonight recorded by Wada. As we said, that's not what he does these days. but he is flashing old vintage Wada form. So that's one of the books. Brings up Hirasawa to the plate. And for Hirasawa, he is 0 for 2. He's been a strikeout victim twice against the lefty Wada here. As he holds set to the belt, he checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers a slow breaking ball, swung on and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Good crowd here tonight in Chiba as they're cheering on their hometown Marines against the Hawks. As the lefty Wada works to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. Count goes to 0-2 to Hirasawa. Well, remember the last time they took care of Hirasawa, it was a changeup down. We'll see if that's going to be the out pitch used again here by Wada if he's going to try to retire the hitter. He does have a pretty good changeup, as we talked about before. A lot of the Japanese pitchers don't always use their changeup, but Wada certainly does. So here comes the 0-2 offering. As the pitch is on the way, and it is exactly what it was. It was a changeup that was fouled away by Hirasawa. Count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe the Philadelphia Philly fans seem to love us. We always get when we put up a short of the Phillies, we always get a large amount of people that come and take a peek at it. That's for sure. So no balls and 2 strikes as the lefty holds to the set position. Checks the runner over at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hirasawa. As we said, we keep our eye on the Uptown scoreboard, but the 5th inning is the magical inning for all kinds of scoring. If you would have entered the inning thinking if you'd placed your bet on an under for the first 5 innings, you probably were smiling, but I think that the first 5 innings is probably gone now. Who knows what it's going to be for the ball game. Chance here for the Marines to put some runs on the board. Pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. That one was in the dirt, and that's going to be the 3rd time tonight that Hirasawa goes down on strikes. He's in the books for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to the left fielder, Shingo Ishikawa. Well, for Ishikawa, he's 1 for 2 tonight. He has scored the only run for the Marines. He had singled the lead off the 4th inning. He is also grounded to short. In the limited amount of duty that he has to play, he has been very, very productive. He's got a .357 batting average with a homer and 5 RBIs. He does not quite have 100 at-bats yet. But he waggles the bat here, waiting on the offering from Wada, who gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go back to work. Checks the runner Nakamura over at second. 96th pitch of the ball game, ready to come from Wada. Fastball misses down for ball 1. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Waggling the bat here is Ishikawa, the former Yomiuri Giant, amongst other teams. He has here found a home with the Marines. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Lefty Wada again gets his sign from his catcher Sato. Working to the set position. Checks the runner over at second. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, chopped slowly over to third. Fielded by Inoue. He throws to first. And Wada's going to get himself out of a jam, and the Marines are going to lament the fact that they can't get a run. They got the first 2 hitters aboard with nobody out, and they weren't able to cash it in as Wada strikes out 2 hitters and gets a ground out 5-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it. Remember, we're going to take our little break here, as we like to call this our Japanese halftime. And we'll come back in just a few minutes. There was no runs in the inning. There were 2 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 5 complete. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 4 and the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate this, and for everybody being here, we'll be back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. We'll be back in a few minutes with all the action. Ojima is going to stay in the ball game for his 6th inning of work. That's a bit of a head scratcher as they are staying with him here. We'll be right back in 30 with all the action.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Kenta Imamiya, Tomoya Inoue, and Masaki Momori slated to come to bat to face the lefty Ojima. Back on for sixth inning of work, and the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Imamiya. Imamiya tonight 0 for 1. He had struck out. He's also walked as the lefty kicks and fires. A breaking ball swung on, grounded up the middle. Fielded by Chitani. He throws as he's drifting into center field. And that is going to retire Imamiya on a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Tomoya Inoue. Well, for Inoue, he's reached base twice tonight. He had a walk and he had a home run to break the deadlock at 1-1 as he had deposited a shot into the left field seats his last time up. It was his first home run of the 2023 campaign. Takes a breaking ball upstairs, and the count is 1-0. But that is as important a home run as you could anticipate or could even have, as that has put the Hawks or propelled the Hawks out to now a 4-1 lead. Breaking ball misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses down. Count now goes to 3-0 on Inoue. So 3 balls and no strikes. Interesting here as we are watching this one. And there's a fastball swung on. It has popped up in the infield. So we got the green light at 3-0. And he pops it up, and coming over underneath it is the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. He makes the catch, puts it away. Inoue is gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Masaki Momori. Well, for Momori, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and grounded out in his 2 trips to the plate. As I said, this game here, if you have to say who it would be more important to for the Hawks or for the Marines, I would have to probably point the finger at the Hawks. This is probably a more important game for them. There's a strikeout that's taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Momori. They've played the most games of any of the Pacific League teams that are still fighting for the playoff spots. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 0-2. And so with that in mind, more than likely, it is probably in their interests to try to get this win here tonight, as they are starting to run out of games on the ledger. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball that misses down. A nice stop there by Sato. Count is 1-2 to Momori. So that's my thought anyways, is that if they can keep them in a spot here where they can get a victory, and they've got the, I don't want to say the driver's seat, but at least it gives them some breathing room with their fewer games left. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the left field line. Giving chase is the third baseman, Brosu, but it's just going to be out of his reach. The left fielder as well for the Marines and the shortstop all were converging, so Ishikawa had to come a long way, as did the shortstop, Chitani, and Brosu had the best shot at it, not able to haul it in. So 1-2 it remains to Momori, as he bats here with 2 gone in the top of the 6th inning. Marines here are going to lament their missed opportunities, as there is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and they're going to apply the tag to Momori, and he is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here. Well, they go in order to the Hawks. They go quietly. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 4, Chiba Lotte Marines 1. I have a feeling that is going to be the end of the line for Tsuyoshi Wada. And we're going to watch the race in just a few here as the Marines are doing the version of the Atlanta Braves, the Flash. We'll see how this works out. We'll let you know the result when we get back in just a few. Hang tight, everybody. Appreciate you for being here. Bottom of the 6th coming up in just a minute.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody. including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. And that was quite the race. We tell everybody that they do something similar to what the Atlanta Braves do. And that is they have a race. It looks like whatever they call the race is the Flash. And they have a fan from the stands goes out and races against the sprinter. He gets himself a little bit of a head start. Well, today the fan won the race. He was bouncing up and down. It looked like he was going to be in lots of trouble early on. And the next thing you know, he absolutely destroyed. It was quite the finish. He poured it on and he was able to maintain the distance and he was able to win the race. Well, we do have a pitching change as they are going to the bullpen are the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. We are going to be seeing the reliever coming into the ballgame. This is going to be Hiroshi Kaino as he is going to be making his 42nd appearance of the year. End of the night for Seo Shiwada, a quality start for him. But the Hawks bullpen has been a little bit dicey in these middle frames. So we'll see what happens here tonight. But Hiroshi Kaino on in relief. So the second pitcher used tonight by the Fukuoka Ball Club, and he is going to be set to face Mike Brosu, Gregory Polanco, and Seiya Inoue, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the batting order. Brosu tonight, 1 for 2. He's got a double in 2 trips. He flew out to deep left field his first time up. He just missed a home run by a matter of inches, if not feet. First pitch fastball swung on, grounded to short, fielded by Imamiya, over to first. And on one pitch, there is one away here as Brosu has grounded out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Gregory Polanco. Well, for Polanco tonight, he is 0 for 2 in the books, but he did ground out and drive a run in his last time up. So he has one of the 2 runs brought home or driven in here tonight. Or check that, the only run driven in by the Marines tonight. So he steps in here on the left side, ready to face the right-handed slants of Kaino. Works to the set position. Here comes the first offering. It is a breaking ball that just misses down. The count is 1-0 to Polanco. So 1 ball and no strikes. Polanco, the big fella, gets himself in. They've got the second baseman Mamori in shallow right field. The shortstop Imamiya is almost up the middle. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Polanco waggling the bat, waiting here on the offering from the righty Kaino, who holds to the set. And now delivers. Fastball swung on. Grounded to the right side of the infield. Fielded in shallow right field by Mamori. They had him played perfectly. That's going to be a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to the first baseman, Seiya Inoue. It was almost like being in the rover position. Just that shallow right field. Makes the play, throws to first. So 2 gone, and Inoue steps to the plate. 0 for 2 tonight. Both have been strikeouts that he's been retired by. And the first pitch on the way, it's a fastball swung on. Grounded over to third. Fielded to the other Inoue, playing third. He throws to first. And that's a pretty quick inning. It's just going to go in the books as a ground out 5-3. All of the infielders were in use in that inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now moving to the top of the 7th inning. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 4 and the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. We'll be back in just a bit, everybody. Appreciate you guys for jumping in and listening in with us this morning. We'll be right back after this.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat here for the Hawks in their half of the 7th inning. And if you would have asked me earlier if the lefty Ojima would still be in the ball game, I would have snickered. But he is going to be starting the 7th inning here to face Kai Shudo and Seiji Ubiashi, who are slated to come to bat. He certainly had a rough inning in the 5th inning, but they have left him in here. Sometimes it makes you wonder if they're trying to preserve a bullpen or not. But in this situation, you're trying to win a ball game, especially this one here of this much importance. Well, maybe the manager has got something up his sleeve that we don't know about. But that is what we have here. It is going to be Takuya Kai to get things going. He is 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up. The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down. The count is now 1-0. If we're on the out-of-town scoreboard watching in the bottom of the 7th inning at Escon Field, the Fighters have tied it up with the Eagles at 1. So 1-1 in that one. The Lions are still leading the Buffaloes 3-2 in that game over there. There's a fastball swung on, grounded to short. Chitani fields it, throws to first, and Takuya Kai is in the books on a ground out 6-3. 1 gone, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Yukio Shudo. For Shudo, he is 1 for 3 in this one. He had a single and scored a run his last time up. He's also grounded to second and grounded to third. He's raised his average to 246. He does have those 2 homers and 17 RBIs, but it's his legs that can do things. He's got those 33 stolen bases. So if he can get to first base, he can get himself around, as the first pitch is a fastball missing down for ball 1. Count is 1-0. 104 pitches now for the lefty Ojima, who kicks and delivers. Fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Lefty-lefty matchup as Shudo waits on the offering, and it's on its way. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. Again, Ojima not wasting any time. He delivers a fastball, misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but he says that Shudo didn't go. 3 balls and 1 strike it is now. As we said, we'll keep an eye on the out-of-town scoreboard, as that, especially that game, is all locked up now. Fastball swung on, lifted into shallow center field. Coming hard is Wada, and he's not going to get it. It's going to short hop in front of him. Shudo's going to get himself a 1-out single, and that is going to bring up the right fielder, Seiji Ubiashi. Well, for Ubiashi, he strides to the plate. This is going to be his first official at bat tonight. He came on to pinch run for Daiju Nomura back in the 5th inning. So he's going to get his first look at Ojima, another left-handed stick. So right now, as it stands, there's 6 left-handed bats in the order here to face the lefty. So Ojima ready to go back to work. He works to the belt. And here comes the first pitch to Ubiashi. Fastball swung on and fouled away. The runner was on the move. As it looked like it was a hit and run, or maybe it was a run and hit. So no balls and 1 strike. And I have to tell you, I think that Shudo might have had that base picked clean, and Ubiashi not swung and fouled that pitch away. So no balls and 1 strike as the lefty comes back to the set position. Gets his sign from Sato. It looks like they're going to pound him inside, but instead they throw over to first base. Getting back in time is the base runner. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Sato looks into the dugout, gets his instructions from the management group, drops the signs, and now he's ready to take the offering from Ojima. They throw over to first. Running hard to second is Shudo, and they're not going to be able to get him. They had him picked off, but he has stolen second base. That's going to go in the books as his 34th of the year. His first one here tonight. And so he has regained the lead, or has at least padded his lead over Hiroto Kobakata, the infielder for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. So no balls and 1 strike here to the left-handed hitting Ubiashi. Shudo, the runner at second, got to keep your eye on him here. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. It is often a lot easier to steal off a lefty to steal third base than it is any of the other bags. That being said, there's a left-handed hitter at the plate. Certainly gives a clear path for the catcher Sato to be able to gun it down to third. So no balls and 2 strikes as the lefty works to the set position. He checks the runner at second. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. And the count now goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The big 3-run uprising in the 5th inning has got the Hawks out to this 4-1 lead. The homer by Inoue. And then with 1 out, the double by Kai, the single by Shudo, the walk to Nomura, and then a single RBI single by Yanagita and a sac fly by Kondo. Had cashed those other runs in. Stepping off the backside of the rubber and fading a throw to second base was Ojima. Shudo is definitely playing mind games with him as he's bouncing around over there at second base. Trying to take his mind off the hitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ubiashi here. Left-hander gets his sign from his catcher. He works to the belt, does Ojima. Pitch number 112 coming up here. As the lefty kicks and delivers, breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains. So the lefty Ojima ready to go back to work. Gets his sign from the catcher Sato. Shudo definitely in scoring position here. Base hit will pad the lead, one would think. And they try a daylight play. And again, the pitcher not making the throw, just fading the throw back to second, but they are concerned about Shudo. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, digging back in here is Ubiashi, ready to face the offering from the lefty Ojima, who works to the belt. Here comes the pitch. He kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, grounded foul on the first base line this time. Count remains at 1-2 to Ubiashi. So Ubiashi adjusts his gloves. Well, it's something that the manager Fujimoto can chuckle about. That's something he's amused about. I guess you can be amused when you're up 4-1 here in the top of the 7th. As the left-hander works to the belt and he's ready to go back to work again. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball, grounded over to the right side of the infield, and it's going to get through past the diving Nakamura, but stopping at third is Shudo. It was in shallow right field. A nice job by the right fielder to really close ground. That was Hirasawa. Just as he was coming in, they throw on the brakes. And so that is a base hit here by Ubiashi, stopping at third, Shudo. Runners are at the corners with 1 gone. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Yuki Yanagita, and it's going to bring the pitching coach out of the dugout as they're going to go out and have a word with the lefty Ojima. I'm just shocked that Ojima is still in the ballgame here, as especially now he's going to be facing the tough lefties in the order with Yanagita and Kondo to come to bat. Pitching coach Kuroki on the mound, giving his instructions. It was just past the outstretched arms of Nakamura. I'm not so sure, even if Nakamura makes the play, that they would have had to play at first base on that particular one. Ubiashi still runs pretty good. So he's aboard at first with the runner Shudo over at third. And then Yuki Yanagita striding up to the plate here. As he digs himself into the box, he's ready to face the lefty from lefty Ojima. They're in double play depth up the middle, but the third baseman Brosu is in. As Yanagita is waggling the bat. Here we go. This is a turning point in the ball game here. A couple of runs here could put this away for the Hawks. A double play ball, of course, would get the reins out of the inning. And now Ojima steps off the backside. 114 pitches here for the lefty. As he works to the belt, he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball, swung on and tap foul. No balls and 1 strike to Yanagita. As we set a reminder, DNA, Bay Stars, and Giants will be the game we will try to give you tomorrow night. We'll also set up a dual feed in case that one ends up being a problem for us. Of course, that game right now is 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Bay Stars have the lead over the Giants. That could be the knockout punch tonight. There's a fastball that misses down. A nice stop there by Sato. Count goes to 1-1. In the meaningless game in the Central League, it's 2-1 for the Dragons over the Tigers. Tigers have clinched top spot. The Dragons are rock solid in the basement. Either team going anywhere there. 1-1 is the other game that we're looking at. That's the Golden Eagles and the Fighters. That's in the bottom of the 8th inning. So we'll keep our eye as the Golden Eagles will have one more crack to come to bat. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, but instead Ojima throws it to first. They've got the runner hung up between second and third. They throw home, and Shudo's going to score the run. He's going to be safe. They're also going to take second base, so it's a double steal. 5-1 now for the Hawks. They execute it perfectly, and they had the runners on base to be able to do it. A stolen base, a steal a home by Shudo, as he's going to come home and score. It is going to be a stolen base for Ubiashi, as he is going to end up taking second. They had him picked too. Ojima threw the ball over to first to Inoue. Inoue got it into the hands of the shortstop Chitani, who threw home from second base. But the runner Shudo, with just too much speed, able to get home for the run that's going to put them up 5-1. And the Hawks here may have this one put away. Ojima here still has on the hill as he's got the runner at second now with one gone. Facing Yanagita here as the lefty holds to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side. Fielded by Nakamura. He flips it to first. That's going to retire Yanagita on a ground out 4-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Advancing to third is Ubiashi, and that's going to leave it up to Kensuke Kondo. That might be just enough breathing room here for the Hawks in this one to put this one away for good. So Kondo steps to the plate. He's officially 1-for-1 in the books tonight. Homered in the second inning, was hit by a pitch in the fourth, and hit a sac fly in the fifth. As he bats here facing the lefty Okajima. Or Ojima, I should say. I keep wanting to say Okajima. It's Ojima. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I guess he reminds me too much of the Fukuoka, or I should say not the Fukuoka, but the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagle outfielder. He is Okajima, just the extra letter in the name. So Kondo waggling the bat, waiting here on the offering from the lefty Ojima, who works to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty rubs up the baseball. Yukio Shudo all smiles in the dugout as he was able to get that run home from third. That's what happens when you can run a little bit. Shudo has played very well here lately. A couple of hits again here tonight. Scored a couple of runs, stole a couple of bases. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Kondo. Lefty kicks and delivers a breaking ball that just misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. If I remember correctly, it's going to be the Golden Eagles and the Marines are going to be playing literally on the last day of the season. One of the makeup games. Can you imagine if it came down to that one ball game there to decide who's going to the playoffs? Be like a play-in game. So 2 balls and no strikes. And certainly when you get an opportunity to put the Hawks away, that's what you want to try to do. The Hawks could be dangerous in the playoffs. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. Just because of their savvy veteran experience. They've had a lot of players who have been there and done that. So 3 balls and 1 strike here as Kondo waiting now on the offering from Ojima. 121 pitches here for the lefty. And now asking for time is Kondo because he can't quite get himself dug in. Now we're ready to go again. Here comes the 3-1. Lefty works himself set. And now he kicks and delivers. Fastball misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. Ojima again visibly upset with the call, and that is going to put the runners at the corners, and that looks like it is going to do it. As it looks like we are going to have ourselves a pitching change here as the manager has come out of the dugout to make the change. That is going to be it. He's going to go and get the ball. We were talking about this before. You don't see it very often that the managers will come out and actually go out to the pitcher and take the ball. Certainly the Giants manager does it. But that is going to be it here for Ojima. His night is over. We're going to take a little mini break, and we'll be back in just a few. 5-1 is the score for the Hawks. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you, Freddie. And hey, guys, let's open up a 5-card pack of 2023 Topps Baseball. And remember, during this timeout, you can also go visit some other channels. Oh, look, Jeter Downs. Bleh. Diamond Princess, she's great. Oh, there's a cubby. Screw that. Hey, go check out the one and only Bud Stoney. Oh, here's one for another Hollis build. And you can stay anywhere you want to when you're around Freddie and the Seattle area. That's good for Mr. and Fuego. And you know what? Why don't we bring out one of the Oakland A's for a league of her own? Bingo! Thank you, Freddie. Pitchers look like they're ready. Let's play ball!
Not quite ready yet, so we'll be back in about 30 seconds. We'll let you know the change and all the information after this. Welcome back, everybody. There is a pitching change we're just waiting for as Masato Yoshi, the manager of the Marines, had come out to make the change. We were talking about when they certainly do some of that stuff. We noticed the manager for the Giants, Haru, he comes out and takes the ball. And certainly in this particular case, it was the manager as well. You don't always see that. Sometimes it's the pitching coaches who go and get the ball and they take it. So we do have a pitching change here as they are going to a right-hander. This is going to be Yasuki Azuma coming on in relief. He's making his 34th appearance of the year. We'll get you some more of those specs and information on him in just a moment. So he is just completing his tune-up tosses. And we're ready to resume the action as it's going to be Akira Nakamura coming in here to face the Chiba right-hander. As we said, 34th appearance of the year, no wins and one loss. 31 and 2/3 innings pitched, 27 hits, 10 walks, 28 strikeouts, ERA of 2.56 for Azuma, the second pitcher to be used tonight by the Marines. As the right-hander works to the belt and now delivers a fastball that misses up and away. Count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Runner at third, Ubiashi. The runner at first, Kondo. 2 gone here in the inning, and it's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes now to 3-0. So Zuma comes in, and he's yet to throw a strike. To Akira Nakamura, it's Kenta Imamiya who will wait his turn on deck. We have Paul in the house here. He says, how do you go about signing up to watch NPB live? We thank you for stepping in here tonight. There's a fastball that misses outside, and that's going to be ball 4. Unfortunately, they don't have Major League Baseball live. It depends on where you're at, Paul. You're in the United States, what part of the world that you're in that you can get stuff. Our friend Titus in the house here as well from the Rising Sun in Japan. And of course, Road Scholar popping in, cheering for the Hawks. That's going to load the bases with the walk. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kenta Imamiya. We'll see what manager Fujimoto's got up his sleeve here. As all eyes are on him. Looks like we've got a pinch runner coming into the ball game. It looks like it is going to be the end of the night there for Nakamura. Paul says he is in Iowa. Well, if you're looking for the teams with the Central League, Paul, it's an individual purchase. You have to go through the teams. Not all teams you can purchase. I know when I was in Tokyo recently, the Amuri Giants, it was funny. I was talking to some of the folks there, and they sell their stuff. You can only get it domestically. I'm like, well, why can't you get it internationally? The Giants don't sell their games online. There's the first pitch fastball ticket for a called strike. You could get DAZN if you've got the VPN in Japan. That would probably be your best bet. All games are in Japanese, but at least that will be able to give you the feed. But you have to have a VPN to be able to do that. Here comes the 0-1 offering. As Imamiya waits on the offering from the right-hander Azuma, there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. There are a number of different feeds that are out and around, and unfortunately, some of them you have to watch contain viruses. We have some information. I don't use the ones out of Taiwan, as there are different apps that you can get for that. The United States DAZN used to carry the Japanese games, don't do it anymore, but I believe Friends to Friends do it. I don't know about that because I don't look in on it. There's a fastball that misses down. It's 2-1. I understand those games are tape delayed, so you have to be able to watch those on the rerun. So 2 balls and 1 strike as Imamiya here waits on the offering now from the right-hander Azuma. Azuma has thrown 7 pitches. He's thrown 6 balls as the right-hander holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball missing down. It's now 3-1. Another good stop by Sato. He's really earned his money tonight. So Paul asked the question, I can't switch from Oryx Hanshin and the Hawks games. Correct. Yeah, they don't offer anything like that. The Pacific League does. You can pay through them at pacificleague.com. But you're only getting the Pacific League games. And it's all in Japanese, so you're going to have to navigate through that. There's a fastball that just misses low. It's going to be ball 4. That's going to walk the run, another run in, as Azuma has now walked the second battery's face. That's 3 walks issued in a row here by the Marines pitchers. Kondo advances to third. Nakamura advances to second. And Imamiya is now at first. He gets himself an RBI. Fred Paul says, I guess I'm moving to Japan. Yeah, but I got the bad news for you over there too, Paul. Depending on when you're at the hotels, they've got it locked up where you can buy certain packages, the Japan Sport One and all the rest of that. Unfortunately, that is a bit of a problem as well. You can't always get your stuff as easily as you think you can. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. One of the things I did notice is it is Tomoya, check that is Kawase hitting for Inoue here. So Hikaru Kawase on to pinch hit. As he waits here on the offering from the right-hander. And it's a fastball that misses outside. That's a ball. So 11 pitches, only 1 strike so far here from the right-hander. Having his moment of yips right in front of us. Paul asked the question. He says, who's our favorite Japanese team? Really don't have a specific Japanese team that I'm a favorite of. I really like the way that the Buffaloes have been playing, obviously, this year. Enjoyed seeing the Carp play and their fans. There's a breaking ball missing outside. It's now 3-0. So Azuma not happy with the home plate umpire, giving some nasty looks, but 12 pitches, 11 balls here so far. Having his difficulties for sure. Rhodes Caller asks if we ever see interleague play. We do. We just don't see enough of it. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. The count is 3-1. The interleague play usually takes place in late May, early June, and they only play a 3-game set for a total of 18 games. In other words, they don't do a home and home. So, like, in other words, the Buffaloes would play the Tigers as there's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and now the count goes to 3-2. So, in other words, if the Buffaloes play the Tigers, it would be at one of the stadiums, but they wouldn't do a return leg. It would only be 3 games at the one, and that would be it. So 18 games out of the 143-game schedule are interleague play. I'd like to see that doubled up, and I'd like to see it in a different port or spread out through the year. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and line foul down the left field line. Count remains at 3-2. Our friend Paul asked about the favorite Japanese team, but as I said before, I really enjoyed watching the Carp. That was pretty fun. They certainly, their fans travel well. Bay Stars were all right. I wouldn't say the Yomiuri Giants. I'll give you my thoughts on that in a little bit later. So a breaking ball swung on it, is lifted foul down the left field line, but it's going to reach the seats. Count remains at 3-2 to Kawase. Paul said, if I had to put out money on one of these 12 teams, who would your money go on? Well, I have to say that even though the Hanshin Tigers have the best record, I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks on the stream, I do think that the Oryx Buffaloes are the deepest team. But I think if you're saying one of these two teams tonight, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center. It's sinking, and it's going to fall in front of Wada. That's going to get 1 run in. It's going to get 2 runs in. And now the Hawks have taken an 8-1 lead. It's a single and 2 RBIs here for Kawase as he drives home Kondo and the runner for Nakamura. And it is now an 8-1 lead here for the Hawks. And they have now, looks like they are pretty much ensured that they're going to jump over the Marines into the spot for second place. And Kenta Imamiya is going to stop at third base. And that's going to bring a conference out to the mound. So Paul's asking about a 500 million questions here. Well, I can tell you this, Paul, I don't live in the States. And no, I'm not at the game, so not able to do that. I live north of the border. So what's available to the Americans and what's available to the Canadians are a little bit, in fact, a whole lot different. So you guys have a little bit different stuff. Our friend Louis says, I think Chiba are in for a tight rest of the season. Yeah, they needed this win tonight for sure. Especially the way the Tohoku Rocket and Golden Eagles are playing. There's a fastball swung on and missed by Mamori, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander Izuma working to the belt, ready to deliver again. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. That was of the split finger variety, and now the count goes to 0-2 on Mamori. So no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, Paul. You're going to have to hunt and peck a little bit. There are different ways that you can find action on different games. As I said, there's a lot of different things out there. As the scoreline here is now 8-1, and it's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 0-2. The Hawks here have batted around in their inning. They've sent 9 hitters to the plate. They have put up 4 runs on the board. So no balls and 2 strikes to Mamori as the right-hander Izuma ready to go back to work again. He's starting to find his groove. Here comes the pitch. Again, split finger pitch swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 0-2. Yeah, so there's different options, Paul. You have to, as I say, kind of dig and hunt. ABC out of Hawaii used to carry the games up until about 4 years ago, pre-pandemic. But I think they only carried certain ones. I think they only carried the Giants games. They don't do that anymore. A lot of Japanese population in Hawaii, that's for sure. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. This ball is going to get down for a base hit. Another run's going to score. Running it down is the right fielder Hirasawa. He fires it in. Ball gets away from the second baseman. Stopping at third is Kawase. It's going to be a double for Mamori. He picks himself up an RBI as Kenta Imamiya cashes in to make it a 9-1 ball game. And that's going to bring up Takuya Kai. As our friend Louis said, it was definitely today where they needed to get this victory. And the Marines have gone out and laid an egg. Just taking a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles have put 3 runs up on the board. They're in the top of the 9th inning. They have a 4-1 lead now over the Fighters. So after the conclusion of this game, the Hawks, one would think, are going to be in second place. And it'll be the Marines and the Golden Eagles will be tied. As there's a fastball that is check swing and missed by Kai. He did go all the way around. So no balls and 1 strike here to Takuya Kai. So we'll take a peek to see how that one's going to play out, but I would think that's going to really make this race all the more interesting. As we said, that last game of the season, maybe so. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. It squirts away from Sato. Racing in to pick it up is Azuma. It's going to run the count to 0-2 on Kai. So no balls and 2 strikes. Azuma leaning in, getting his sign. We're taking a peek in. It looks like that the Golden Eagles are still threatening in their 9th inning. They've got the 4-1 lead. Runners at second and third with 1 gone. So they still have an opportunity to put another run or 2 on as the Fighters have that infield in, but have a feeling that they're probably going to pound something else out. Fastball is delivered to Kai, and it is fouled away, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes still to Takuya Kai. "25 pitches here for the reliever in the 7th inning. All the other games have moved along a little bit quicker pace than this one. There's a pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to short. Chitani fields it, throws to first. That's going to do it. Kai goes in the books on a ground out, 6-3 for the 3rd out of the inning, and mercifully puts the 7th inning to an end. They had 5 runs in the inning, did the Hawks. On the benefit, at least on my account, of 4 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning, and your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 8 and the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with all the action in just a few. Hang tight. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here tonight and listening in. Here is our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change as the Hawks are going to a right-hander. It is going to be Koya Fuji coming on in relief. He began the season as a starter, ended up hurting his oblique muscle, and ended up coming back in the bullpen role, which is a role that he is familiar with from last season. He is making his 28th appearance of the year. He has worked 63 innings. He's allowed 44 hits, He's walked 31 and struck out 75. Got an ERA of 2.43. So he is on here to pitch the 7th inning for Fukuoka in this one. Our friend Paul says that he put some money on the game between the Dragons and the Tigers. And I have to tell you, the games that don't mean anything at this time of the year, you would make it, to me, extremely difficult to pick victories in those ones there, because they're resting the regulars, because the Tigers have clinched. I shouldn't say all the regulars, but rotating who's playing. There's a first pitch fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow center field. Coming in underneath it is Shudo. He makes the catch. It's going to retire Sato for the first out of the innings. So 1 up and 1 away. It's going to bring up Shogo Nakamura. But as I was saying, very difficult if you are placing money on games to be able to make those type of selections. Same thing with the Buffaloes. They pretty much are rotating players around. You're getting guys that are maybe not playing every single day. And you're getting guys that are being rested. And certainly the lineups are a little bit different or awkward. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0 to Nakamura. Nakamura 1 for 2 tonight. Certainly the games that mean something are hard enough to pick as it is, but you can end up with a game like tonight where you think the Marines playing at home, it's going to be a tooth and nail battle. Fastball, take it for a called strike, and the count's 1-1. Unfortunately, with this is the situation that you run into. And there's a fastball that swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is 1-2. Yeah, same thing with Oryx. And when I say resting the regulars, they're not playing every day. Hitters want to hit every single day. You never want to be taken out of the lineup because it messes with your timing. But certainly between now and the playoffs, they don't have to play these guys every day. You can give them a couple of days off or a day off here and there. There's a fastball swung on line right back to the pitcher. And Fuji makes the catch, and that is going to retire Nakamura. Nakamura is going to feel hard done by. He's hit 2 balls on the screws tonight and right to fielders. He's going to be in the books for out number 2, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kenta Chitani. Paul says he wishes he would have heard our advice a few hours ago. Well, that's why they have tomorrow. So 9-1 is the score line here. There's 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th. And the first pitch on the way to Chitani is a fastball, take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Now, the reason I said who I would be picking, if I had to pick a winner, I'm leaning toward the Buffaloes. Buffaloes to repeat as the NPB champions as that fastball misses down. I just think they have such a deep team. I think their window after this year will tighten up. I don't know how many more wins they'll get, because I do anticipate that Yoshinobu Yamamoto will be posted and he'll be on his way to Major League Baseball. So they're going to lose their ace starter. It's going to be a difficult one to replace. Fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. But they did replace Masataka Yoshida without blinking any eyes this past offseason. Of course, the play of Yuma Tongo has really helped out. He's leading the Pacific League in batting. On top of it, the addition of Marwin Gonzalez early in the season was productive, and Tomoya Mori really helped out the Buffaloes. Fastball swung on, grounded on one hop over to third, fielded by Kawase. He fires to first. Chitani gone for out number 3 on a ground out, 5-3. And that is going to do it here in the 7th inning for the Chiba Lotte Marines. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are now through 7 complete. Your score is Fukuoka 9 and Chiba 1. We'll be back in just a few, and we'll give you our update on the out-of-town scoreboard as we'll keep an eye on what is going on at Escon Field in Hokkaido. Appreciate you guys for listening in. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the 8th inning, and it is going to be the top of the order slated to come to bat. It'll be Shudo, Ubiashi, and Yanagita. We'll be back in just a few as we are going to be taking just a little bit longer break as we are anticipating that Azuma's night will be done. That seems to be the case as they brought out the bullpen cart, and we will be getting a pitching change here in just a moment. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. From our friend Steve Rademacher.
Steve here from outside his refrigerator that a lot of you like so much. So let's go inside. There's my hot sauces and other stuff. Let's see what we can do here for Freddie. Awesome game, Freddie. Keep up the good work. We love the baseball. So why don't we rip open Garbage Pail Kids just for you and the listeners. Large Marge, she belongs in the fridge. Liberty Libby, well, she belongs down here on the beer. Apple Corey, hey, he's pretty cool. Put him on that beer up here. And Target Margaret. All Series 3 Chrome Garbage Pail Kids. Freddie, back to you in the game, and everybody else, please enjoy everything he does and tip him nicely.
Appreciate you there, Steve. Looks like we got some wholesale changes coming in here for the Marines on defense. We'll have to catch up to that as they come available for us. But the pitching change has been made as they're going back to a left-hander. It's going to be Toshiya Nakamura on in relief. The first pitch is a fastball delivered down to Shudo for ball one. Nakamura making his 14th appearance of the year. He's got a record of 1-1. He's worked 16 and a third innings, allowed 17 hits. As the fastball is swung on and lifted into left field. Camping out underneath it is the left fielder, and that is going to retire him for out number one. It looked like it was Wada maybe moved over, but we'll have to get that confirmation in just a few as the night looks like it may have been done for Ishikawa. But as I say, we've got to get caught up on all the defensive changes. So one in the books, and that is going to bring up the right fielder, Seiji Ubiashi. Ubiashi tonight is a 1-for-1. He had a stolen base in the 7th inning. And there's a fastball that misses up and in. He came on as a pinch hitter for Daiju Nomura. Actually, is a pinch runner for him back in the 5th inning. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes even at 1-1. Just to finish off on the pitcher Nakamura, he has posted an ERA this year of 2.76 out of the pen. As we said, he is making his 14th appearance on the season. And so here comes the 1-1 offering as the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. Paul getting a kick out of Steve's in-between inning antics. The Garbage Pail Kids are alive and well, apparently. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. Paul asked the question earlier about, do they give a K zone? Some of the teams do, but most of the teams don't. And it depends on who you're watching. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Nakamura punches out Ubiashi for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita, he is officially 0 for 3 tonight. He's also drawn a walk and knocked in a run, as he did draw the walk with the bases loaded. So he bats here. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and missed. And the count goes too quickly to 0-1. Working quickly as Nakamura delivers a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 to Yanagita. Boy, he doesn't waste any time, Nakamura. He gets the ball. He's ready to throw. He kicks and delivers. And that is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded softly to first, fielded neatly by the first baseman, Inoue, who steps on the bag, and that is going to do it. It's going to be a ground out to 3. And that will do it here for the Hawks in their half of the 8th inning. They go quietly in the 8th, no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Our score here is 9-1. We'll check in on the out-of-town scores for you and report when we get back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We'll give you a look at the out-of-town scoreboard as this one here is marching along. At the Kosera Dome in Osaka, 3-2 lead for the Lions over the Buffaloes. That's in the bottom of the 7th inning. In the top of the 9th inning, it is the Golden Eagles that have extended their lead to 5-1 over the Fighters. The game is over between the Dragons and the Tigers at the Evangeline Dome. 2-1, the Dragons won that one. And it is a 1-0 ball game in the bottom of the 8th between the Bay Stars and the Giants. That game's in Yokohama as the Bay Stars are batting in their half of the 8th inning. Giants are going to need to come up with at least a run or more in the top of the 9th, or their season is going to be in jeopardy. Well, we're just waiting here on the pitching change and confirmation thereof it. As we said, we have a bunch of defensive changes for the Marines, and we'll have to get caught up on that. As we said, Fuji came in. I'm curious to see how they're going to manage out their pitching from now to the end of the ball game, as it's no longer a safe situation. A little bit interesting that they had Fuji come in. It is going to be Katsuki Matayoshi who is coming on in relief here. So he is going to be working the low 3/4 / side armor at times, right-hander, ready to take over in relief. He is making his 28th appearance. He's got a couple of wins and a couple of losses. 23 2/3 innings, 20 hits allowed. He's walked 9 and struck out 14, and he's got a 266 earned run average. So it is going to be Sachiro Osida coming to bat, who is batting 250 on the season, only 5 for 20. So he is hitting here for Wada. So Matayoshi on a relief as the right-hander kicks and delivers a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. As we said, Oshida has come into the ballgame and he's actually moved into the first base position. So he's taking over that position occupied by Inoue. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count goes even to 1-1. The former Oryx Buffalo in his first year here with Chiba has been used sparingly. As we said, this will be his 21st at bat for Seiichiro Oshida. And that pitch is a fastball swung on, is popped up on the infield. Moving over underneath it is the third baseman Kawase. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Oshida for the first out of the inning, as we put him into our books for the first time here tonight. And he's gone for out number 1. That's going to bring up, or slated to bring up, the top of the order. And Taiga Hirasawa. Hirasawa tonight having a tough night at the office. He has struck out all 3 times he's come to the plate. Batting average has dipped to 172. Pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses inside for ball 1. Counts 1-0. As we said, we'll try to update you on all the movement in the lineup here for the Marines. Fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Hirasawa. Our friend Rhodes Scholar says, "Go Whales." That would be a old school. Next thing you know, you're going to flash the Robins out at us. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside. Count now goes to 2-1. course, all former Japanese teams, Taiyo Whales, I believe, and the Robins might have been Fukuoka, or was it? Not sure. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving hard toward the foul line is Ubiashi, and he's going to make the catch. Hirasawa is going to be retired for the second out of the inning. He's gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to the left fielder, Shingo Ishikawa. Well, for Ishikawa tonight, he is 1 for 3. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also scored a run. His average has dropped to .353 on the year. So he comes to bat here facing Matayoshi for the first time here tonight, as he is on in relief. 9-1 for the Hawks here in the bottom of the 8th. Fastball swung on. This ball's hit hard to the right side. Fielded by Mamori. Throws to first, and that is going to retire Ishikawa. Ground out 4-3. Have to say, what I look for when we're in this later part of the ball game and it is a blowout, I look for competitive grinding out at bats. And the Marines sure haven't done it here in the last couple innings after they've given up a bunch of runs. They uncompetitive and not grinding them out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board here. We'll be right back in just a few. Your score is the Hawks 9 and the Marines 1. The top of the 9th is just around the corner. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. Now, I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to the channel. In turn, we support Steve Rademacher and our friend Louie, who's been listening in with us tonight, tapping out to go for lunch. We appreciate you for being here tonight with us. It is a pleasure to have had you here for the length of the stream. It is going to be Kensuke Kondo to lead things off here as we are ready to resume the action. The first pitch is a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. The lefty Nakamura still in the ball game here as he is ready to go back to work as he kicks and delivers a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now is 1-1 to Kensuke Kondo. Kondo tonight, a productive night. Officially 1 for 1, has a homer, couple RBIs. He's been hit by a pitch, he's walked, and he's hit a sacrifice fly. And there is a fastball swung on, and this ball is lifted into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Kondo rounds first, and he retreats back to the bag at first base. He's aboard with a single, and that's going to slated to bring up the right fielder, Akira Nakamura, but we're going to have somebody hitting in his place, I do believe, as it looks like it is Asami Nomura who is in the ball game. And it also looks like we're now going to get a pinch hitter for Kondo as his night will be over, as he gets high fives as he returns for the dugout. So it is going to be Asami Nomura, and the pinch runner is Kenta Tanegawara, who is on to run for Kondo. So Asami Nomura here ready to hit. It'll be his first at bat tonight. Well, for Nomura on the season, he's only hitting $150. The first pitch on the way, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away into the legs of the hitter. The count is 0-1. He's got 3 homers and 7 RBIs on the campaign, making his 48th appearance in a ball game tonight in a Hawks uniform. Often used to pinch run or defensively. Not always a player who gets the start. Fastball swung on, grounded through the 6-hole into left field. That's a base hit. So the Hawks have started the inning with back-to-back singles. The hit by Kondo, of course, Tanagawara running for him, and now a hit by Nomura puts runners at first and second, and that's going to be slated to bring up the shortstop Kenta Imamiya. There was one player I would have figured they would have substituted out. I would have thought Imamiya might have been the one, but he gets the opportunity to stay in the ball game. As he bats here for the 5th time tonight, he has a couple of walks. He's officially 0 for 2. Swings through that pitch, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Our friend Paul says he remembers watching the Garbage Pail Kids movie back in '87. There's a breaking ball swung on. That ball is lifted to left field. It's going to be caught by the left fielder Ishikawa. And tagging at second, or not tagging at second, was the runner Tanagawara, and he had to race back to the bag. He almost got caught off and doubled up. It was a nice play there by the left fielder Ishikawa. He's gone for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the batter Hikaru Kawase. Paul says we do pretty good commercials and pretty good commentating. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded through the 4-hole into right field past the diving Nakamura, and it is going to be Kawase who's going to get a base hit. So the bases are now loaded full of Hawks. Runner at third, Tanagawara. Runner at second is Nomura. And Kawase is now the runner at first. And that's slated to bring up the second baseman, Masaki Momori, with the bases loaded and 1 out. Well, we appreciate your support there, Paul. Hopefully you sub to the channel and decide to stick around, and you'll see when we're on again. Jump in with us. We are usually on the weekends. Don't do a whole lot of midweek games, but because the season's winding down, we will try to give you as many games as we can during the midweek. There was a first pitch breaking ball that is waved at and missed by Momori. Count is quickly 0-1. Momori tonight is 1 for 4. He's got a double in 4 trips. He's also knocked in a run. He's struck out a couple of times and grounded out. As the left-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to first. They go home with it for 1, and that's all they're going to get. That's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to be 3-2 to retire Tanagawara at home. He's gone for the second out. It advances everybody else. Nomura goes to third. Kawase goes to second. Safe at first is Momori. That's slated to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. As we said, tomorrow we're going to set up dual streams. The 2 streams that we're going to set up is going to be for the for the Giants and the Bay Stars. If we can't get a feed for that, then we will give you a game in the Pacific League. And probably going to be the Marines, as it looks like they are going to have their chance tomorrow night. I think it's the Marines or possibly the Golden Eagles. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count here is 0-1. We do have a pinch hitter for Takuya Kai. And we have to get the number here of this, as we couldn't quite see who the player was when he came to bat. The 0-1 is on the way. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. Sometimes you don't always get that information quickly, as it looks like it is number 22. As we look on ours, or I don't think it's Hikari Menai. We saw that the other day. Looks like it is Kota Makihara. So here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and that is going to run the count to 2-1. I wonder how much more action we're going to see from Hiroki Menai between now and the end of the year. Had that game the other night when he got pulled in the middle of the inning, and he did not look impressed when he came off the field. I wonder what words were discussed between he and the manager Fujimoto. Fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Nowhere to put him here as the bases are loaded. As Kota Makihara batting here for Kai. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. Fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count goes to 3-2. Yeah, Road Scholar makes an interesting point. He says there would be no Garbage Pail Kids if it were not for the Cabbage Patch Kids. I remember back in the day, the wacky packages. That's what I grew up on. We had those things were kind of funny. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and in. It's going to be ball 4. It's going to be an RBI on the walk here for Makihara. He's going to drive in Nomura with the 10th run of the ball game. Advancing over to third is Kawase. Advancing to second is Momori. And I don't know if I've seen that correctly. They flashed that there has been 9 walks in this ball game tonight issued by the Marines. I'm going to verify that here in just a moment. And if that is the case, I don't know how many teams win games walking 9 batters. I've got 4 through the first 5. And I must have missed one somewhere because I've got 8 on my tally, but they're showing that that's 9. So that's tough. If you're walking that many guys to have a chance to win a ball game, you can't throw strikes. You got a problem. And here comes the first pitch delivered to Yukio Shudo, and it's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Shudo tonight is officially 2 for 5. He's got a couple of singles. He's scored a couple of runs. He stole a couple of bases. He's also grounded out twice, and he's flown out to left. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. Paul says he likes betting on the NPB. What would be your betting advice going forward? I get saving the starters for the postseason. When does the postseason start, and who would you bet on till then? Postseason doesn't start till about the second week of the NPB of October. Fastball swung on, lifted into center field, and Shudo is going to be gone as he flies out to Fujiwara. I'll come back and give you my thoughts in just a moment. They had 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits, did the Hawks. There was no errors and 3 runners left aboard, as that is the 3rd out of the inning. We'll be back here in just a few as the Marines are coming for the bottom of the 9th. We'll have a pitching change, and I'll give you some more thoughts after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in. It is now a 10-1 lead for the Hawks. We'll be right back in just a few.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out. There is a pitching change. We'll get you all the specs in just a moment. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. Steve Rademacher come back at you again. And during this pitching change, for a change of pace, let's open some baseball cards. We'll get through these quickly. 2023 Topps Big League. We have rookie card of Tyler Freeman to go along with a Matt Chapman. And why not a Jake Cronenworth? Shoot 'em, Jake! We do have a rookie card of Brett Beatty. That's pretty cool. To go along with the uncommon Carlos Correa. Pretty common to me, but what do I know? Trey Mancini to go along with a rookie of Kodai Senga. Freddie, tell them about Kodai. And one of my favorites, Devin Williams of my Milwaukee Brewers. All right, looks like the pitcher's coming in. Freddie, you can take over now.
Appreciate you there, Steve. It is going to be Arata Shino coming on in relief. He is making his 11th appearance of the year. He's got a record of 0-1. He's worked 15 in the third innings. He's allowed 17 hits. He's walked 7, struck out 16, and he's got an earned run average of 4.11, as that is where we stand. Our friend in the chat, Paul, asked the question about what do you think about betting? One of the things that I think that a lot of people don't do is, in the NPB, the lineups are not really announced till within an hour before the game. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. It is Mike Brosu, Gregory Polanco, and Seiya Inoue slated to come to bat here. So here comes the 0-1 offering as the right-hander delivers. Fastball swung on, popped up into shallow center field. Moving back on it is the shortstop, Imamiya. He makes the catch as he backpedals, and Brosu is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. So I often say when you're giving the advice, when we take a look at stuff, and we've given stuff before where we make our picks, we're making it on the basis of who the pitchers are. And sometimes it's hard to be able to do that because when you don't get the lineups, sometimes you'll see the lineups and a team will roll out a lineup where they've got maybe 6 regulars in and then they flip 3 around. Or they've got 5 regulars in and they put in 4. So that's a bit of a problem. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses outside to Polanco, and the count is 1-0. So making your judgments on the starting pitchers, sometimes you have to take into stock what the lineup looks like. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. So that's the one piece. The other piece is I would probably stay with the competitive games in terms of that, because the non-competitive games, they're putting a lot of younger players in the lineup, moving guys around. Fastball misses outside. The count now goes to 2-1. So in my thought process on it, I don't want to see, certainly I don't want to take that risk of who you're going to play, because when you have nothing to play for, especially the younger players who are putting in the lineup, they play carefree and they can sometimes play a lot looser. As that breaking ball misses down, it's now 3-1 to Polanco. And in other words, that they just go out there relaxed and anything can happen. Whereas the teams that are playing for something, sometimes they're a little bit tighter. They're not as loose. And they start squeezing the bat. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Counts 3-2. So, like, in other words, the game tonight, maybe bad example, but the game tonight is probably between the Tigers and the Dragons. Tigers have nothing to play for. They've clinched the Central League. Dragons have nothing to play for except for jobs for next year. And their young players are getting opportunities. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4 to Polanco. He's aboard with a 1-out walk, and that's going to slated to bring up Inoue, but we're going to have a couple of changes here because it looks like that we're going to have a runner here for Polanco at first, and more than likely going to have ourselves a pinch hitter here for Inoue. So Tomosuji Atsuki is the pinch runner who comes on for Polanco. Or Atsuki Tomosuji, and at the plate is Kyoto Fujiwara. So Fujiwara getting his first at bat here on the night. First pitch breaking ball that misses down, and the count is a 1-0. And this is an example here. I would have thought Fujiwara would have got a start here tonight. He's been in the starting lineup more often recently. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. And Paul also says, and pride. Yeah, absolutely. That's the other piece. Just as a reminder, after the game is completed here tonight, we'll give you the roundup around the NPB. And we'll also give you the roundup of this one. And then once that is complete, we will sign off. And as I said, sometime in the mid-afternoon, late afternoon, we will put up our schedule for tomorrow night's affairs. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Fujiwara as the runner took second on defensive indifference. The pitch is a fastball, swung on and missed. Now the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. That last pitch was a split finger pitch that had a little bit of arm side run to it. Caused the hitter to swing and miss. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. Count remains at 2s. So that's how I make my decisions on the games. And as I say, the starting pitchers only give you one thing. I mean, we've seen some games where the starting pitchers are rolled out and the other team rests their players. I'll give you an example. When we've seen Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitch sometimes, the other team will rest the majority of their starting players, maybe 4 or 5 regulars out of the lineup. Fastball swung on and fouled away. And then Yamamoto just goes out and absolutely carves. He's carving the better players, but he's also getting some of the guys that are not the better hitters in the lineup. He's just rifling right through them. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled off the catcher. Count remains at 2-2. Well, there's two different leagues. I think they're on a collision course, Paul, for the NPB, for the Japan series, because the Central League has the Tigers. I think they'll be the representative out of the Central. The winner of the Pacific, of course, is the Buffaloes, and I think they're the odds-on favorite, both to go through, not just because they've won. They've just been playing good baseball all year. Tigers have been specifically, as that fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2 to Fujiwara. So I would say, from what I've seen, Buffaloes, the best team has been the Tigers. The deepest team is the Buffaloes. You get into a 7-game series, the potentially for an 8th game, as that fastball misses down and the count is 3-2. I think the Buffaloes might be the deeper team and they might have the advantage, especially with the designated hitter on the home parks. Get the extra bat in the lineup. Plays into their favor. I don't know the extra bats that the Tigers can roll off the bench that are going to strike fear into the Buffaloes' arms. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball misses inside. It's going to be ball 4. Fujiwara's got himself a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second. Back-to-back walks issued here by Shino. That is going to bring up the catcher, Toshiya Sato. Appreciate you there, Paul, and thanks for stopping into the channel. Hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow night. As we said, it'll be a return leg of action tomorrow. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. We'll try to stay with competitive games, or games that will mean something for somebody between now and the end of the season. So here comes the 1-0 pitch as the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball misses outside to Sato. Count is now 2-0. So 2 things are about to happen here. Either the Hawks are going to win, or the Marines are going to make the greatest comeback in NPB history as they find themselves down by 9 here in the 9th. And here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 3-0. Shino about ready to walk the bases loaded here. You thought it would be a pretty easy inning. They would be done here fairly quickly. Paul asked the question, what game are we covering tomorrow? We're going to put up 2 streams tomorrow night. As the fastball is taken for a called strike, it's 3-1. We would like to call the DNA Bay Stars against the Giants. That is the favored game. And if that doesn't happen, then we'll have a backup in place where it's probably going to be the Chiba Lotte Marines, as there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field, moving over towards the foul pole or in foul territory, and it looks like making the catch is Ubiashi. Tagging are the runners. They're going to advance to second and third. Nice play there by the right fielder as Sato had sent the ball deep into right field corner. We lost sight of it for a bit, but he is gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to advance the runners to second to third. Paul says coverage begins at what time? It'll be 2 a.m. Pacific. The games will be on somewhere between 10 minutes before the start. But as we said, we're going to have to hunt and peck for a feed for the Giants and the Bay Stars. So we will have that one set up as well as another feed in case that we can't get the feed for that one. There's a fastball that misses. Count as 1-0. So regardless, you can see on the channel by midday, put both the links up for the games, and hopefully we'll be calling the Bay Stars and the Giants tomorrow night. There's a fastball that misses down. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. This is a pinch hitter here for Shogo Nakamura, by the way, as we are getting the benches are definitely being emptied. This is number 57, Ryusi Ogawa. As he swings through that pitch, it's now 2 balls and 1 strike. So they're letting everybody into the fray here now. As the night for Nakamura is over, here comes the 2-1 offering. Fastball swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 2-2. Trying to get that final out here tonight. As we said, we'll give you all the information. We'll give you all the stuff here on the end of the game and all the final scores from around the NPB tonight. And there is a fastball that swung on and missed. And that is going to put Ogawa in the books. He is gone for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here. As your final score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 10 and the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and 2 runners left the board. Final score 10-1 for the Hawks. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We're going to wrap this up. Then we're going to give you all the information from the out-of-town scoreboard as Tohoku put up an 8 spot, oh my goodness, in the 9th. They won 9-1 against the Fighters. We got a change in the standings. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Appreciate everybody for listening in tonight, and thank you all for your support. We're going to give you the roundup here in a moment. And here comes the roundup, and we'll also give you the starting pitchers for tomorrow night as well. First of all, in the Central League, the scoring went like this. The Yokohama DNA Bay Stars knocked off the Yomiuri Giants 1-0. 1-5-0 for the Bay Stars, 0-4-0 for Yomiuri. It was Nikki getting the win. He goes to 4-4. Mendez takes the loss. He's 5-5. Morihara gets his 17th save for the Bay Stars. Again, your final in that one, 1-0. The other game in the Central League, the Dragons beat the Tigers 2-1. 2-7-0 for the Dragons, 1-7-0 for the Tigers. Umetsu gets the win. He goes to 1-1. Murakami takes the loss. He is 10-6. Katsuno gets his first save. It was Teruki Sato hitting his 22nd homer of the year for the Tigers in that one. In the Pacific League, outside of this one here, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles stuck an 8 spot on the board in the 9th inning to beat the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters 9-1. 9-11-0 for Tohoku, 1-3-0 for the Fighters. It was Watanabe getting the win in relief. He goes to 8-2. Ito takes the loss for the Fighters. He's 7-10. Hitting his first home run of the year for the Fighters was Tamiya. That is home run number 1. The only other game in the NPB tonight that is still going on, and it is in the Osaka Dome, or in the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. The Buffaloes have just taken a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the 8th over the Saitama Cebu Lions. And that is how that one is. Well, your final score tonight here was 10-1. The Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks knocked off the Chiba Lotte Marines. We'll give you the roundup here. In the second inning, Kazuki Kondo led off with a solo shot to open the scoring as they went up 1-0 on the Marines. Marines got one back in the fourth. Leadoff single by Ishikawa, a double by Mike Brosu, an RBI ground out by Gregory Polanco evened the score at 1. But it was all Hawks after that. In the fifth inning, a leadoff home run by Tomoya Inoue made the scoreline 2-1. With one out, Takuya Kai doubled, then a single by Yukio Shudo and a walk to Daiju Nomura. Up stepped Yuki Yanagita. He walked, and they brought in a run. And then Kazuki Kondo hit a sac fly. That brought in the third run of the inning, and that gave the score a 4-1 lead for the Hawks. Well, the Hawks added 5 in the seventh inning as they sent 10 hitters to the plate. It was, in that one, with one out, Yukio Shudo singled. And after he stole the base, it was a single by Seiji Ubiashi. And then Ubiashi stole the base, and Shudo ended up coming home to score the run. It was a double steal, and that made the scoreline at that point 5-1. After a ground out by Yanagita, a walk to Kondo and a walk to Akira Nakamura loaded the bases. Kenta Imamiya walked to bring home another run. And then it was a single by the pinch hitter Hikaru Kawase. He brought home 2 runs. And then Masaki Momori doubled home another run, and that gave the 5 runs in the inning to increase the lead to 9-1. They added one more in the ninth, did the Hawks, with back-to-back singles by Kondo and Nomura. And then it was a single by Kawase, and that loaded the bases. Bouncing into a fielder's choice was Momori, and a bases-loaded walk issued to Kodamakihara brought home the 10th run, and that is where the final was in this one. Your final score was the Hawks 10 and the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. We do appreciate everybody who listened to the game here tonight. We thank you guys for all stopping in. We'll give you tomorrow night's starters in the NPB, and then we're going to sign off here tonight from this one here. We'll give you the update here, as there is going to be a slate of games tomorrow night. 5 games again on the docket. 3 in the Central League. The Central League starters tomorrow night will be Katsuki Higashi going for the Bay Stars against Iori Yamazaki. If I had to make a selection early on in that one, I'd favor the Giants tomorrow night. Yuki Nishi goes at the Koshin Stadium for the Tigers against Keiji Takahashi of the Swallows. At the Mazda Stadium, it'll be the Carp and the Dragons. Hiroki Takota goes for the Carp. Hideki Wakui goes for the Dragons. In the games in the Pacific League tomorrow night, well, as our backup game, we will do the Fighters and the Marines. Cody Ponce takes to the hill for the Fighters. He goes up against Manabu Mima of the Marines. And at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka, the Buffaloes will send Kyosuke Saito to the mound. He goes head-to-head against Wataru Matsumoto of the Lions. All right, everybody. Once again, we appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight and listening into the call of this one. I hope you all have a great night. Come on back and see us again tomorrow. We'll do this all over again. Have a great night, everybody.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Each smile comes back again. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet again.